Live. Okay. Hello. Welcome tonight. Welcome. It's a beautiful Sunday night.
Hello.
And welcome to Vibrant, Victorious, Invisible, the 3V PoC one-shot group. I'm Morgan. I am your master ceremonies for tonight, or your GM, or your DM, or whatever you want to call it. So welcome to the party. And thank you for guys for stopping by. I forgot where I leave. Oh, there we go. Welcome to the Party is dedicated to creating an inclusive and equitable gaming community where folks can come and learn how to stream and play games on stream. And then we give them a place to do it. I got to shout out to our sponsors. Devin Rue, maker of the fine fantasy maps. You can find all her amazing stuff at rueinc.com. Tabletop Loot, makers of dice, shirts, mugs, and more. Find all the great stuff at tabletoploot.com. And of course, So Nerd Whale, our official merch sponsor. So use the code WELCOME at checkout to get a 10% discount on your next purchase at sonerdwear.com. So Nerdwear, it's what the nerds wear. And use the exclamation point merch. If someone could do that in the chat, that'd be great for me. And I can show you more other information there. Shout out to Patreon. The best way to support us in the channel is our ongoing work is through the Patreon. There you'll get interviews with players, mods, and DMs, behind the scenes looks at our games from arts to notes, and you'll find us. I can't read tonight, y'all. And you'll help us in our goal to be able to underwrite amazing writers, artists, and creators from across the gaming universe as we try to create a showcase of their amazing work here on the channel. Check it out at patreon.com/welcomepartyrpg. If you want to learn more about that, exclamation point Patreon in Twitch chat, that'd be great. Discord, that's where we all talk. That's where we all communicate. Don't forget to join us in the Discord at the link below to keep the conversation going. And now I think that is everything. Did I get everything? I got everything. All right, cool. All right, yeah, I got thumbs up for Leona. She's not here with us playing us tonight, but she's in with us in our hearts.
Producing.
She is beautifully producing us. So we're playing Monsterhearts 2. It is a game from Avery Alder. Let me pull up my notes on that. So many Google Docs. I got it. One moment, please. But I should introduce ourselves. Duh. Anyway, hi, I'm Morgan. Wow, I am all over the board tonight. So go me. I am the master of ceremonies. I will explain what that more is. I'll explain that later. Verbiage is very hard. All right, so players, please introduce yourselves. Miriam, go ahead and go first.
So I'm Miriam, and I will be playing Mona Darling, who is playing the vampire skin. Do I read the text that's with it now or later?
We'll go through character,
Okay.
And all that good stuff way after. So I just want to know who you is and what you're playing.
Yeah, that's me, and I'm playing the vampire.
Go ahead, Lily, please.
Hi, I'm Lily, and I'm playing Cattell Roby, who is the witch.
All right, thank you. Jonathan, please.
I'm Jonathan. I'm playing Esteban TV Este Steven Andrada, who is the queen. You can tell because the only thing I have on the overlay is just the queen, because I forgot to change it on the spreadsheet.
I mean, as long as we know who you are,
it
right?
sort of works, honestly.
Yeah, it's
it
not
does.
bad. All right.
Judging you.
I judge myself all the time, too.
Oh, all right.
Self-esteem, doing wonder.
Phoenix, go ahead, please introduce yourself.
Hello, everyone. I'm Phoenix24 Femme. I'm going to be playing Para Arsabe, who is the ghost.
All right. Thank you so much. And now I can explain more about Monsterhearts 2. Monsterhearts 2, again, is written by Avery Alder. Written contributions on race and racism is by C.L. St. Marie, James Menes Hodes, and Jayon Shim. It's built on the Power of the Apocalypse by D. Vincent Baker and Maggie Baker. Just want to do a little bit of blurb about, to give you an idea exactly what Monsterhearts 2 is about. This game is queer, meaning that it pushes back that underlies so many of our culture stories. When you play, you contend with all the chaotic possibility and uncertainty of desire. Monsterhearts 2 is about the messy lives of teenagers who are secretly monsters. It explores the terror and confusion of having a body that is changing without your permission. The monstrosity of these characters is literal. They are vampires, werewolves, witches, and more. But their monstrosity is also allegorical, standing in for experiences of alienation, shame, queerness, and self destruction. By the time they hit adolescence, most people have forgotten, well, bleh, most people have gotten over their fear of the dark. They spend their midnight hour on gushy phone calls, diary ramblings, and wet dreams. They fall asleep peacefully assured that the shadows hold no monsters, but the shadows do hold monsters. You know because you're one of them. Wickedness dwells within your heart, hunger courses through your veins, high school weighs on you, and teen drama puts you on edge, but you have power. What will you do next? So, that's a blurb. Y'all excited? I got hit nods.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. And real quick, I just want to just explain the 4 points of Monsterhearts 2 that really make this game what it is. 1, make each main character's life not boring. As a player, part of your job is to advocate for your character, but being their advocate doesn't mean that it's your job to keep them safe. Keep the story feral. Let stories be messy, chaotic, momentum guided forward in any given moment. Focus on reacting to each other's players, allowing others to foil your plans or improve upon them. Trust that a good story emerges from the wilderness. Play to find out what happens next. Let yourself be surprised. Say what the rules demand. The dice are there for a purpose. They aren't for ambiance or an obstacle to clear before getting to the real story. The rules for moves exist because constraints lead to creativity and chance to lead to unexpected twists. You're supposed to fail sometimes. You're supposed to be caught off guard. And 4, say what honesty demands. Cultivating an air of mystery can be fun, but it's important to communicate with other fellow players, even if your character is doing their best to keep secrets. If people don't know what your character wants, what they're hiding, or who they really are, then it becomes real hard to actually engage with that character. Remember, this is a conversation. All right. And one last thing. We have safety tools. X card, fade to black. We will be using them. Please let me know if things change. If you need to, X card me, please let me know. I appreciate it. X card this conversation. Okay, we're moving on.
And that's what you're doing.
Like I said, do finger X's, measuring X.
I'm the flight attendant.
Yeah. Or you're warding off evil, one of the two. All right, so we are going to start getting into things. Players, if you could, please give me a dramatic read from your blurbs. So that little italicized blurb, your character name, looks, your eyes, and origin. Then describe a bit more about your character, like personality, place in high school, etc. I'm going to go with Phoenix, since I started with you last time.
Wonderful. So I'm going to go with the dramatic reading part first, and then I'll give the whole description and everything. So Para Arzabe, the skin I'm playing, is the ghost. You used to have a future. Growing up was a painful tumult at times, but at least you were growing. Now you only have a past, unfinished business to take care of before you can leave this world behind. Life is precious. You understand that, now that you've lost yours. You just want to help. You just want to be seen. But sometimes even the simplest desires feel so difficult to grasp. Ghosty ghost, you're dead. So, Kara Arzabe, the best way I can describe her is wallflower in every sense of the word. She really does not actually like being involved with a lot of things, but most of her kind of desires tend to orient around watching others as a result in just a social context and also a sexual context as well. She's very much looking after people and looking at people. She is deep brown hair that that's her natural color, even though she has blonde because the roots are very apparent. She kind of has a white top with red polka dots and a long floofy skirt, but all across her top and her skirt, there's really the polka dot patterns aren't uniform. They're actually kind of splotchy in a lot of different places, and all across her hair, there's a bunch of red splotches that just cover it entirely. And she doesn't really pay attention to that. It's just what she always wears and how she's always looked as far as she knows. And in terms of her position in the school, she is here as a relatively new student. She's replacing her brother Carl, who seems to have just disappeared within the past few weeks, and she figures she's just going to take his spot because, well, no one ever seemed to notice Carl anyways, so it seems like Kara is going to just move in quite nicely. But yeah, that's roughly what she looks like. Waif-like, kind of like physically fitting the ghost vibe and personality-wise fitting the ghost vibe very well.
All right, thank you. And what's your eyes and origin?
Piercing eyes and a tragic accident.
Thank you. All right, thank you so much. Next, Jonathan, we're going to go with you and Esteban.
You're muted. You're still muted.
As you needed the blurb first, right? Excellent. You're one of the special.
Muted, yes.
All right.
Oh, that's sorry.
You're one of the special ones, a sovereign beauty. You deserve more than the rest of this wretched world does. You deserve the will and worship of those around you. And it's not only because you're better than them. It's because you make them better, stronger, more beautiful, complete. They'd be nothing without you. So hi, I'm playing a narcissist. Okay, and sorry, I am blanking. And then what? What else do we need after that?
Look, eyes, and origin.
Okay. So yeah, Esteban is very clearly of some variety of Hispanic descent. It's not particularly clear which one at first because it never is. And he's almost the textbook definition of tall, darkish, and handsome, except it's more like kind of averagely tall, not that dark, pretty handsome. And he's so yeah, and he's fashionable for where he's at. It's never enough to look like he's too different from the people in the class, but it's always just like you can tell that there's some care put into the appearance, even if it's fashionably shabby on the days where he feels like experimenting. But got very very almost cool blue eyes, kind of. They sort of do the once over very often. And his origin is most popular, although what I actually wrote before I read the book was voted most popular and most likely to succeed, definitely not a rigged election.
That's amazing. I love it. All right. Well, and what's his position in school? You say he's the queen.
Yeah.
What's he queening about?
Esteban runs a group of, shall we say, sexually liberated people, who, as the trope goes, exchange services for goods in general.
I mean, that's how commerce works, so yes.
Yeah, it works out pretty well for him and the group, actually.
All right, excellent. So, Lily, please go ahead.
Okay, I am playing the witch, and in every lock of hair, every furtive glance, every secret note that transfers hands during history class, there is an invitation to be fucked with. Not that witchcraft is about fucking with others, exactly, but it's hard not to notice how utterly malleable the world is once you know a thing or two about magic. Of course, a good witch like you knows restraint, A good witch turns a blind eye to all those invitations and doesn't think about how sweet vengeance and control might be. A good witch is above that sort of thing, at least most of the time. So Cattell Roby is she is multiracial by way of colonialism, as many of us are. She's French and Black and Native. She has like a curly light brown hair that goes down to about the middle of her back. She pretty much just wears like a plain like black tunic every day to school with like knee-high like boots, but like Doc Martin type boots, not like high heels, and black gloves that go all the way up to her elbows. And wait, one more thing. Her look is coy. Her eyes are calculating, and her origin is that she was taught by her grandmère, her grandmother.
Oh, I love it. And it's giving me very like craft vibes, like that one. I don't know which
Yes.
it is.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yes.
Love it.
Very much.
I love it. All right. Well, thank you so much, Lily. Miriam, last but not least.
Yeah, so I am playing Mona Darling. She is a vampire, and the vampire skin goes as follows. You are beauty eternal. You are the darkness that everyone wants to taste, but no one dares understand. It's there in your eyes, your carefully chosen words, in your every gesture. You no longer have a soul. Some vampires revel in the fact that their afterlife is a tapestry of hedonism and exsanguination. Others hate the evil in their skin, solemnly vowing to a chaste and lonely existence. Either way, someone suffers. The choice is yours. And Mona is drop dead gorgeous. She has long black hair that's in like beach waves sort of a thing, like very bouncy and very lustrous. And she has she's definitely Asian, probably South Asian, but she is pale-ish enough that a lot of times people mistake her as Mediterranean. Because why would someone South Asian be here in Kentucky in the middle of nowhere? So, and she doesn't bother. She sort of plays to whatever people wants to believe they want to see, and she has hazel eyes, and she wears clothes that look very fusion, sort of like Indo-Western clothes, and lots of mirror work, lots of maybe a little too overdressed for school, but nobody seems to bat an eye. And she has a smoldering look with lusty eyes, and she is newly reborn.
Excellent. Thank you so much. All right. So those are our characters. Like I said, I am the master of ceremonies. Basically, as the MC, I'll be playing all the side characters in the world. I'll be your teachers, parents, classmates. On top of that, it's my job to set the scene and introduce twists. I play by a different set of rules, but ultimately, I'm here to help make sure your character stories are interesting. So let's start getting into the story. Y'all ready? Oh, I didn't have the camera up, so I didn't see y'all nod.
Yes.
Yes.
It's quiet. I was like,
Emphatic nodding that nobody saw.
Right.
I'm sorry, I was reading my Google Doc.
Oh, it's good. It's good.
Stop
And,
giving her MC
so-
shit.
Yeah, so I'll read the introductions, and then we'll do scene. We'll do strings, and then we'll start the game. So let me paint a mind picture for you. So just sit back and listen to my dulcet tones. I gotta figure out where I am in my book, though. Here we go. The heat has died down from the summer as a cool autumn breeze greets you. The scent of the rich forest fills your lungs as the last of the cherries go out of season. The hag's green, or the local woods, are lush with green foliage and contain many secrets that have been sitting in there for years. The one river that flows red looks extremely vibrant this week, as if it's got a new case of oxidation from nearby mines. Or maybe it's something else. As the camera pans from the woods to the small town, camera pans to the small town that seems to be stuck in a certain time period. It sweeps over the corner, the once corner store converted diner. That is a mouthful. Sits against Harry's, the only alcohol store in town, with Highway 69 driving past it as the only mode of transportation in and out of town. The camera then pans to the barnyard, where it was once an old farming club complex, which has been restored as a music hall where charity organizations came in to help the local community. Finally, we land on a place where you spend most of your time, or, well, should, according to the adults. Cherry Peaker High School, home of the cherry pickers. The building was built in the 1950s and really hasn't been touched since, other than some minor repairs here or there. The nostalgia of time past lingers these halls. You can see the carved notes, time capsules under desks, inside lockers, along the bathroom stalls. But this is home. This is, I'm going to mess this up so bad. This is Ballstone, Kentucky. Nestled away in the Appalachian Mountains, tucked deep in the woods, nearly forgotten by time. Population 10,342. All right, I didn't screw it that bad. Yeah.
Great.
Sounded good.
It did just fine. Could not keep a straight face during talking about the name of our high school. Really could.
Yeah. Y'all chose it. I just went along with it. And yes, Highway 69, Slam Babe. That's what they picked. That's what we're going with. Euphemisms everywhere. All right. So
Literally everywhere.
everywhere. Okay, so strings. We are going to start that, which basically is character connections between each other. Maybe, you have a little bit of sway, or they have a little bit of sway on you. And really that goes along to each skin. Started with Miriam already, started with Phoenix already. Lily, you want to go ahead and start?
Okay, sure. So I have sympathetic tokens, which are for the most part the same thing as strings, except the sympathetic tokens are collected by Cattell, and they have to be given with consent. So these two sympathetic tokens that I'm going to start with are people who Cassell has had an encounter with at some point, and they agree to give her a bit of power over them. So I think, and just to be clear, I can choose one of the NPCs that we've kind of already arranged.
Yeah, you can definitely, any of your strings or tokens can be with NPCs. I prefer it if we can keep it within players, but if it makes more sense for your character to have an NPC connection like that, then we can definitely make one. That's no problem.
Okay. So I think for the two sympathetic tokens, one of them is going to be from Harleen, who is one of the twins in the class. There is a set of twins, and Harleen and Hakeem. And though Cattell would probably best describe herself as Demi, she is very interested in both of these twins. So she has a sympathetic token from Harleen when they had a bit of a makeout session one time.
What token is it?
It is a lock of Harleen's hair.
Okay, love, love, love.
Mm-hmm. And then I think the other token is going to be from the teacher, actually.
Okay.
And that token is a USB with a compromising video of the teacher with the principal.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yes.
All right. I love it. Let me finish making notes. What's your? Do you have another one, or is that the only?
Yeah. So it says one of the others caught you rummaging through their friend's stuff, but hasn't said anything. They get a string on you, and I'm going to say that this is actually the queen has a string on me because I was curious about Camilla. I believe the queen's sister.
Camilla, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so I have excellent.
Principal. Boop. Okay. All right, Lily, is that it?
Yep, that is it.
Okay, awesome. Since I'm going out of order again, Jonathan, you're next. You're muted again.
Yeah, okay. So I get a string on each of the members of my gang, so that just happens.
Okay.
So we won't go over that since we have those already set.
Mm-hmm.
And then I find someone threatening, give them a string on me, and take a string on them.
Ooh, who do you find
And
threatening?
I think I find Mona the most threatening out of the party.
Oh, why is that?
Because Mona is one of the other people who like has the same kind of charisma that Esteban does.
I love it.
And so I think he's not sure where, like, it's like a new year. They're figuring out their pecking order. He's not sure where she's aiming to end up, but he knows where he belongs. And if she starts pushing on that, then that's going to be a problem.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Well, so Mona, make sure you clean that string on Esteban. Next, we're going to go with Kara. Wait, hold on. Is that all yours?
Yes, I just have that one, and then the NPCs, which are...
Excellent.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure.
Yep.
Go ahead, Kara.
So my two sets of strings are: someone knows that you're dead and how you died. They gain 2 strings on you. I think I'd actually like to say Mona knows how I died. I feel like of the group, Cattell would be a little too focused on dealing with Esteban, and Esteban is oblivious to all of this going on around him. I feel like Mona has lived long enough to probably recognize someone else who's not quite living anymore.
All right.
And I think it'd be interesting dynamic. But the other string
real
is
quick, before we get to the next string, do you want to tell us how you died, or do you want to keep that secret?
No, I would be happy to say how I died. I was going out to Cherry Peak is partially named for a spot. I think we decided this beforehand. That's higher up in the mountains near the actual like town we're living in.
Mm-hmm.
She was going out to likely watch a few people who were going up there to make out and such, and she actually saw someone who had the perfect look that she was striving to have for herself. If it's not already clear already, she's trans, and that was the kind of girl that she wanted to look like. But the last thing she remembers is tripping, hearing a scream out in the distance that sounded to her like a hag scream, stumbling with the last thought and the last thing she saw being that perfect girl, the way she was and how she wanted to look, and then she died, and she's just never forgotten that expression or that look, and she's just tried to copy it.
Oh yeah, well that's great. And was that recent or was that like back?
I'd say very recent, and she when she does things that are ghostly or whatever, she doesn't actually realize that she's doing it. It just feels like to her that she's just willing it to happen, like she's hoping for things to happen and they happen. She doesn't really process she's dead.
Okay. All right. And what's your second one?
My second one is you've been inside someone's bedroom while they were sleeping. Take a string on them. I'm going to also say it's Mona as well. And
I would
that,
suggest maybe someone else.
oh,
just so
someone else? Okay, that's perfectly
yeah,
fine.
just so you just spread out your strings a little bit. That's all.
No worries. I would say then Cattell in that case.
Oh,
I feel like the two options were either Mona because to turnabout's fair play, but also I think Cattell because I think she sees in Cattell a similar inclination to watching people that she kind of wanted to follow up on. So she probably just is like, well, she's not going to mind anyway. She already does that to other people. Because Kara really doesn't understand boundaries. She doesn't understand it anymore. She never really did, and it's even worse after dying.
Yeah, it's hard to understand boundaries when you can walk through all the physical ones.
Right.
Yeah.
Also, we got a question from the chat. So does Cora doesn't exactly know that she's dead, or is she just in denial?
It's probably a little bit of both. I mean, as far as she knows, she's just taking over for where Carl used to be in the school. As far as she knows, she's just her parents never paid attention to Carl while he was alive, so she figures she can just take over his spot. And if it's not clear already, chat, Kara is Carl.
Oh.
I was about to ask, is Carl really your brother? Really?
No. Kara is who Carl wanted to be.
And now she gets to be who she is.
Yep.
Exactly.
She's all right, 10 minutes and we're crying. That's great. Good start.
You know.
Told you.
Just feels already. I love it so much. It's like a queer. All right. Well, we have our place. We have our characters. I've gone through stuff.
I didn't do my strings.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Yes, go ahead. I thought I was forgetting something. I'm so sorry. Go ahead.
It's okay. I mean, I get strings on anyone anyway, so. But the first one is, you're beautiful. Gain a string on everyone. So that's kind of taken care of. Then the second one is, someone once saved your unlife. They gain 2 strings on you.
Ooh.
And I am sort of torn between either Kara or Cattell because both of them can have really good reasons for that. Because Kara's a ghost and happens to be at the right place, the right opportunity. So I think I'm going to stick with Kara, but actually it was Carl, not Kara, who saved me. Because I'm thinking that... I was that scream that you heard was probably me dying, and fall.
Plot twist. Ah. Also,
I'm gonna cry. This is great.
Yeah.
We're off to a good start, everybody.
So Carl literally saved me.
So does Mona know? Did Mona know Carl?
Probably.
Does Mona know that Carl is now Kara? Or does she just assume?
I feel like it wouldn't be hard for her to pick up, like just scent-wise, that like it's the exact same scent, but she's just like adamantly referring to herself as Kara, and she won't take any other pronouns or any other name.
Right.
Like it just also for a comfort level for players, like you can still use Carl, but like Carl will not like she won't like respond to the name anymore. But in terms of referencing the past, you can still use that. I'm okay in this context with that dead naming kind of context. Aspect.
I meant it mainly as it was Carl who saved me, but it's Kara who gets the strings.
Of course, yeah. Excellent. I just wanted to know like what your characters like connections were now or how they were in the past. So thank you. All right. So now I got everybody. Am I counting my ducks? Can we go on a field trip? Okay. All right. So the scene 1, we are in world history class. It is, I'd say it's Friday morning. It's the first week of school being back. It's the energy in the school is buzzing with, not only people being back in school, the talks of the town, and just the energy of just the school you're just starting. Of course, people are groaning and moaning about schoolwork and homework and oh, I gotta do this again. But really, the excitement's there, the energy's there. And as we start class and the bell rings, or rather, as class starts getting there, do any of y'all get there early?
I would say Kara, for the most part, just tries to get in before the class gets all set up. She's mainly interested in just not drawing any attention to herself as best she can, and just being in a really ideal spot to just watch everyone and see what happens with everybody. So she's probably one of the back rows, like one of the ones closest away from the window, or farthest away from the window, and just sort of in there, keeping her books tight. Her dresses and top looks a little large on her, and she's just kind of like waiting for Mona to come in, probably waiting for Cattell to come in as well, just and like getting out a notebook she writes in descriptions of people and notes about others.
Okay. And what time does Mona and Cattell both get in there?
I come in dead last. I like making dramatic entrances.
Like-
I'm totally poking the bear.
Here's the question.
Here's the answer.
Do they get into a fight over who goes out last? Because Esteban is absolutely not going in before she is.
I think y'all both standing there,
Like, arms crossed at the door. Like are
trying
you
to play chicken if who's going to be there without being late.
Yep.
Mhm.
Although Este will be late. He does not care.
Me too. I'm totally like finding stupid excuses like, oh, look at that. I dropped my pen. I'm going to bend over and pick it up. Very slowly.
Yeah, Este like also does similar things, but like over top, because that way everyone watching knows what she's doing. Like, oh, I dropped my pen. Oh no, I've dropped my pen. What a shame. Like really? Like clearly, I see what you're doing. Very clearly.
Queen, is this what's happening? I love it.
Yes.
Also, I chat our stream. I want you to know there is a little goofy little tweet that says, when a bard meets another bard.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is what's happening right now.
All right.
Yep.
Excellent. When does Cattell get there?
So Cattell is the first one in the classroom always, but
Oh.
she kind of perches on the windowsill. She gets to the school early. She has made a copy of the key and knows the alarm code. So she can be there, and there's like a closet that she has sort of made over into an office, and this is where she does like the books for Esty. So then she's always the first one in the classroom. She'll have like a little moleskin with her and perched on the windowsill, and then when Esty takes their seat, then Cattell will take their seat next to Esty.
Okay. So, Kara, you tried to get there early, but apparently Cattell beat you there. Every time.
Yeah, she'd probably like be a little like surprised by it. And she's like, oh, I mean, I usually ended up falling short of most things I wanted to do, so this isn't any different. Yeah. Hi, Cattell.
Hey, honey, you can be first tomorrow if you want to be. I don't have to be here early. It's just, sometimes the best secrets are when no one is around.
I mean, I wouldn't know too much about that. But it's fine if you want to be first. I like letting other folks take the lead. It's kind of nice when that happens.
Yeah.
You look great, by the way. I love the boots,
Oh,
everything. I
you.
tried to get mine to look a little bit more like yours because they look great.
Oh, that is really flattering. Kara, maybe tomorrow I'll let you get here first. I feel a little bit bad that I stole your thunder.
Oh no, it's okay. Like no one like you nobody like you should ever have to, you know, apologize or go out on a limb for someone like me. Like, you're fantastic, and you deserve to be treated as such. Anyways, I'm gonna go run over there, okay? I'm gonna go. Bye. She just like starts running to her seat.
Oh, pumpkin. I love it. All right. And well, tomorrow is Saturday, so I mean, you can let her.
It's even better that way.
It is Friday today, so I mean,
Cara wouldn't pay
just like-
attention. She's just like, I'm gonna go now.
yeah.
I mean, Cattell maybe actually does go to the school on Saturdays and Sundays just to see if there's any shenanigans happening.
I mean,
after hours.
So like, so anyways, real quick, Esty, does your posse, your gang roll in with you, or do they get there at their own time?
I think Camille's probably there pretty early.
She probably passes you two fighting, and she's like, again.
No, Camille is just like, oh, this again. All right, it's been literally 4 days. Can either of you calm down just a little bit?
Just wake up.
Sid walks in and is just like, hi, hello, and then goes inside, like very, very nice. Celine probably shows up with Esty, but when it is very clear that Esty is going to make a point, is like, all right, I'm going to go use a chair now, and goes inside and sits down.
All right, I just wanted to know if you like rolled in with your posse, or like they just sort of just streamed in, so that's cool.
I think they roll into school around the same time, but they definitely get to class at different times.
All right, so you know, Cattell's there first, Cara's there second. We have that brief conversation. Camellia sort of just rolls her eyes at both Esty and Mona and just walks on by. The twins, Harleem and Hakeem, both, you know, say hi to both Esty and Mona as they walk in. Apparently, they're the door greeters now because they're.
I don't know about Mona, but I know Esty would like stop fighting immediately and be super nice and charming to all of them, and then immediately go back to glaring at Mona like right after they go through the. I don't know what Mona would do, but that's where I'm.
Mona, like anytime people come in, suddenly it goes to like, oh, hi, or like really meaningful, like, oh, hey there, sort of a look.
Yep.
And then as soon as they pass by, it goes back to no, you first, sort of a silent stare match.
We have a session with 2 bards. This is going to be a long 2 hours.
Yep.
All right. So after
Hours, who gets in first?
Arlette comes in. Paul, the youngest person in the group. I think he's like 16, maybe, because he did grades. Let's see here. Camille, Champa, and Raj, the family that somehow are all in the same class together, yet they're all siblings, but not really twins per se, just 10 months apart from each and every single one of each other. Also stroll in as well. Who am I missing? Sid came in, Celine came in, Arlette came in. Okay. And then finally Leona comes in, you know, her bright bubbly smell smiling at both y'all as she saunters on by and takes her seat. And finally the bell rings and class begins. And you two are still outside, staring each other down. I want y'all to both for this thing give me a roll with cold or hot, depending on what you want to do, and how you want to see how you defeat the other, or like what you're trying to use to like win this stare down.
Do you want this in Roll20, or do you want this with dice? Or
Roll20? It will probably be easier because we have the Roll20 thingamabob on Twitch. So,
I'm totally going with hot because I'm basically trying to find the perfect entrance, like, you know, literally Bollywood trope where somehow the class fan hits the right moment and like
the hair goes boosh.
And it's like
it's in slow-mo, but everyone else is moving at normal speed.
Yeah, and it's like you can literally hear the music.
That's a coincidence because I'm also rolling hot.
Let's have a hot off.
Cattell and I are just like watching this. I'm taking notes. Like, what the hell are you doing? We're both just taking notes at this point. I'm just like, we'll remember this for later.
Oh my.
Mhm.
Oh
Roll
God.
those rolls whenever you get the chance, if you can. If it's giving you issues, please let me know.
And no modifiers, correct? Just
You'll just roll 2d6 and add your modifier for a hot.
oh,
Look at that. That's nice looking. I like that
Boom.
background.
Oh, that is
Wow.
really pretty. Wow.
Yeah. So Mona, mark experience.
Yep.
Why can't you be this nice for D&D games? Roll 20.
Look at these little notes you were able to put in there. Okay, sorry. This is my first time ever seeing Monsterhearts on roll 20. This is very nice.
All the PBTA
Yeah.
games have got cool, rolling.
Graphics.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
They're real neat. Yeah.
Awesome. All right. So, Mona, mark experience.
Yep.
All right.
So, I have a
and
question, actually.
answer. What's up?
So technically, I succeed at this, but can we change the narrative a little?
Okay, what do you want to change it to?
Esteban goes first, but knows that Mona knows that he let her, and
okay.
is okay because like it's a power play at that point. It's like,
Oh, yeah.
no, you can. I am deigning to let you have this. Please go ahead.
Oh,
I'll enter the room, of course, absolutely.
and how about as I enter, like the fan the fan blows it perfectly, but my sari catches onto the door handle and rips it off. And suddenly I'm sort of just in a very skimpy blouse.
Esteban just looks over his shoulder and is like, I even gave you all right, and then goes and sits down.
So Esteban just walks in and, like enters, says hi to people, scoots on by, takes the seat. Then Mona tries to come in elegantly as the fan tries to catch her hair, and the breeze sort of like makes her like model looking. And she walks in, all of a sudden you just hear the rip as her sari just gets pulled off and ripped.
And attached, hanging to the doorknob now.
Yep.
Yeah.
From like the middle of the room, you hear Esteban in like that sort of stage whisper that is really obviously designed for everyone to hear. It's like, oh, that's a little tacky, isn't it?
So Cattell is still sitting on the windowsill, and she like has like a pencil in her hand, like how people put like the end of the pencil in their mouth. And she like takes the pencil out and like stares directly at Mona and like licks her lips and then hops down and sits in the seat next to the queen.
Nice. I love it. Okay. So, real quick. Hey, Queen, was that a shutdown that you're trying to do, or was that just a comment?
That was just a comment. Like, Esteban has won this battle and has no interest in continuing it further for the moment.
That's fair. I would say that continues from your hot roll from earlier.
Cool.
All right. And Mona, you're just there in a blouse, caught. You're trying to fight with the door, trying to get the rest of your sari off. And Mix Dixon is like, Mona, please, I'm sorry that your sari ripped, but I'm just trying to start class. Do you mind?
And I just very quickly try to unhook myself from the door, and I go sit down with whatever dignity I have left.
All right, awesome.
Would it be possible at that moment for like Kara to just kind of like do the like awkward like sidle up next to like Mona real quick and just like offer a hoodie and just be like, you look great as is and no one would be complaining, but if you want to cover up, here's a hoodie. And then just like walk back. Like she's just super complimentary to Mona, and then she just like immediately skitters back to her seat.
I just gracefully accept it, but I don't wear it.
You like tie it around your waist, or like just hold it over your arm.
I sort of just take the sleeves and I sort of wrap it around like a necklace sort of thing, so it's like a hanging, like a cape almost.
Oh, so
like a tourist.
Okay.
Or like a preppy.
Like a preppy, yeah.
Oh, let me just demonstrate real quick.
You went from Bollywood like star to prep.
Yeah, like that. Like that, pretty much.
Yes, actually. I love it. Anyway.
Okay.
What's the focus on my ample bosoms?
Yes.
Bosoms
Because that's absolutely where people are going to be looking, Mona. with at your bosoms, yes.
Bosoms plural, multiple. Welcome to the party after dark.
We love,
By the way,
I
this
love-
is Monsterhearts. This isn't like an R-rated game. Just wanted to let y'all know.
I mean, it's supposed to be like really intense and dark, and like we're up here
High
just
school, it's a bit of
Okay. Don't worry. There's time for that. We still have time.
We still got time for that. Yeah, I like playing off the goofy just because like it does lean a bit more to teenage drama, and I can discuss more about that.
Yeah.
Later. Like all right, so class begins. It is world history. Y'all are talking about. What did I say earlier?
what jackasses the British are.
Yeah, pretty much. Actually, it is talking about colonialism right now. So it's talking about the good old 1800s, talking about South Africa and the colonialism there. Where else was Britain at the time? India, of course.
everywhere.
The British Raj.
Where weren't they? Is
Where
where
weren't they?
Valid. Also very valid.
They were having a competition with the French, basically, like how Esteban and Mona are.
The battling of colonialism. It's like the issues with Mona and ST. Anywho.
It's one big popularity contest.
All right, so class is going. It's about 15 minutes into it. Of course, half people are paying attention, like always. I think, Arlette, even on the front row, is taking a nap. There's some people passing notes here and there, and you do see some, small chatting as well. Eventually, 20 minutes into class, what is the teacher's name again? Oh my god. Oh, Nick Dixon gets pulled. Someone knocks at the door, Nick Dixon waves them in, and another teacher's head pops in. She's like, "Hey, can I talk to you for a second?" And Mick Sexton's like, "All right, sure, 1 second." And she turns and she looks at Leona and she's like, "Hey, watch the class for me." And she looks at the rest of y'all like, "Be good. I'll be back in a minute." And she leaves. So the class is now empty with Leona in charge. So there's anything to discuss, talk about, anything like that?
Well, I think Cattell would produce the moleskine that she had, moleskin, however you say it, which she was working on, and that's the latest numbers, input, output, net, whatever. I'm just saying.
There's definitely a lot of input and output in there.
Names in code. I don't know. I'm not a bookie. But and then she hands that over to Esty.
Esty takes the book and just thank you so much, and then immediately gives it to Camellia because he can't be bothered to look at it. That's got math in it.
And Camellia just looks at him like, really? And she just rolls her eyes and just opens it up and starts working on things.
Yeah, Spudley looks at her like, "You don't like talking to people. I do. This is what we you know this. Come on."
She just glares at you and just fine, and continues on.
Give you you'll have some extra time off later. It's fine.
Gives you another glare. And as y'all you do the discussions, let's see here. Champa turns around to Mona, and he's like, hi.
Hi.
Did you hear about what's going on tonight?
Of course I did, but you can tell me what it is.
Yeah. And Champa looks around real quick and just sort of leans in. So what I heard is that there's some people from another class. Oh, what are their names? Oh.
You notice while Champa's sort of gears are turning that the sweater's already gone, and I'm rearranging my sari in another very fashionable way so that it doesn't look like I tore it.
Nice. That's nice. They see it and then they're distracted and they're like, So anyways, there's someone from another class. I think it's what is their name? I think it's Ruben from from the other homeroom class. I don't know if you met Ruben or not, but he mentioned that him and his friends are doing a welcome back to school party at the barnyard tonight. And he told me to spread the word, but he told me to keep it low key. But I know you know people, so I just wanted to let you know. And since you're so yeah, I just thought you'd like to be there. So yeah, okay, fine. And he just turns back around and just sort of puts his head down, starts taking copying notes from another class.
I was like, thank you, Jumpa.
And Kara, since you're sitting right next to Mona, you probably heard all this as well.
And I turn to Kara and I say, so, coming?
Coming to what?
And I just gesture vaguely at Jumpa.
Oh, that. Yeah, I think I could make some time to stop by. I don't normally go to these kinds of things too often, but are you going to be
you
there?
Want to come? Well, you know you want to come. Of course, I'm going.
Well, I definitely want to come.
I have to keep court, don't I? And I make sure I say I have to keep court very loudly.
I mean, I don't know if you have that much competition, if I'm being honest. Except for maybe Cattell.
Oh, I don't have any competition whatsoever.
I don't know, the way I get the impression ST would tell you otherwise.
Does ST hear any of this conversation at all?
Oh, I'm not being quiet or subtle about it.
Kara's trying to be, but I don't think Mona is.
All right.
Is uncooperatively loud.
Does Cattell hear this too?
Yeah, I guess if they're being that loud.
Well, part of the conversation is loud, not the whole conversation, because Kara's always trying to be quiet, but Mona's
Right.
yeah, there's a thing tonight.
There's a thing. Queen, it's definitely working on an angle here.
Yeah, so Cattell hears Mona, maybe not every word that Kara says, but definitely what Mona says.
Yeah. So now it's gonna be a fun game of telephone. What does Cattell pick up from the conversation?
Well, definitely that something's happening tonight. And also that I think maybe she heard Kara saying something about competition between Mona and Esty, and so she definitely is interested in if something's going down with that.
I love it. I love it. All right. And what does Esty hear from the partial conversation that he hears?
I think Esty hears none of what Kara says and everything Mona says. Because he's busy trying to get the twins to work for him. But I think around the time he starts hearing that, it sort of turns to Camille and says, "Do you know what's going on? You work there."
Yeah, basically, Ruben from the chess club has basically his group is doing a welcome to school situation happening. I don't know. Then, yeah, I gotta work it tonight, but they're having a big old welcome back to school party that apparently a select few is being invited. And she basically just points from Choppa to Mona, just sort of gestures nonchalantly.
So I was like, "Oh, excellent. So if you're working there, you can leave the door open, right?"
I mean, it's not like it's completely invitation only. You can just say, "Hey, I was invited." And
Oh, well, then I'm going.
oh, well, good.
And sort of quiet, and sort of not as loudly as Mona, but enough so the back corner can hear. She goes, "Didn't even need an invite. They just knew I'd show up."
Oh, my eyes are the only thing that registers that I heard that, but otherwise my body is completely poker face.
I love it. All right, so eventually, after this conversation happens, just like right on cue, Mix Dixon sort of walks back in, and they're like, "All right, where did we leave off?" And continues back.
How white people won over brown people, and there was a whole popularity contest between England and France, and how eventually in World War II they got kicked out by all the brown people. That.
I feel like after Mona tries to say that, Kara would actually pipe up and be like, actually, it was a multi-coalitional, like, kicking them out, and technically it happened at this date, and this date. You're
How
not
much
entirely
time do we
right,
have
Mona.
left in class exactly?
Actually, as you ask that, as Kara mentions that, the bell rings.
Cool. Esteban gets up and is like, could have just said these white people are dangerous, and walks out the door.
It's just like so like caught off guard by everybody. She's like, homework, and then just everybody like just a mad shuffle of everybody leaving. Just
The homework happens and it sounds like, too late, bell rang. Like,
anymore.
didn't give us homework before the bell rang, don't have to listen to you anymore, goodbye.
I'm last to leave. Go ahead.
Miss, I can get him homework if you need that.
I mean, it's just reading over the next chapter. That's about it.
I already read over the next few chapters. I can
well, thank you for that. And so you're ahead of the game. But that's just it. Just reading the next chapter. But have a good weekend, Cara. Okay.
Thanks. Is all my paperwork taken care of? Like, there's no issue transferring the stuff from my brother?
Oh no, definitely not. You're fine. Thank you for asking.
Okay. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
You look great, by the way.
Oh, thank you. And they just start like fixing their hair, just like. All right, so Essie's gone. Cara leaves. Is Cattell and Mona still there?
Yeah, so Cattell is going to like sort of walk past Harleen and be like, hey, looking good, but like and not actually stop, just kind of like throw that and then keep walking, like putting like a little extra like swing in her hips as she exits.
All right. Are you trying to turn them on?
You know what? I will say yes.
Give me that hot.
Okay.
Roll for sexy.
We will see.
Give me a sexy.
Cattell's not like super sexy.
I mean, give me a try for sexy.
Yes, she's trying.
Roll for potential sexy.
Roll for seduction.
Did that go?
I think it takes a minute.
Okay.
Because
Did you click to do it without modifier? It normally asks you, and that might delay it.
Oh, yeah, that's it.
ooh,
Really?
partial succession. All right.
Uh-oh.
So partial succession means that it does work. It does kind of work. So with that, Harleen, which one are you?
Harleen.
Harleen just sort of looks at you and sort of like blushes, and they're like, I can tell, and just sort of like gets really awkward. Just sort of like gets back to like fixing their paperwork, but as soon as they saw you, it sort of like just fell out of their hands, so they're like busy trying to pick it up and like trying to be like, she talked to me.
Cattell has like this necklace on that is it's like a square that's clear and like pressed in the middle of the square, like pressed inside is like this lock of hair, and like Cattell just like fingers the necklace as she walks past.
Yes, I love it. Also awesome. I love how she keeps it like that. That's really cool. Is Mona still last one there, or should we?
It's this thing because I'm last. I'm only gonna do something with the twins too.
What do you do with the twins?
Oh, I just pass by them and I sort of like bend down on between, since they both are sitting close to each other, one hand on each desk, and I'm like, see you later tonight.
Oh, the party, right? Yeah, we heard about that. We should be there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I meant the after party too.
Oh, give me a hot roll.
Uh,
Turn somebody on.
Monsterhearts is the
Shame.
only games I know where you can be like, roll for Cabadon.
Roll for sexy.
It's more like Shameless Mariam is like one of my favorite Mariams like ever.
Yes.
I love it. All right. So Mona got an 8, so this is in the partial session. So they're both equally awkward as well. Oh, and I think with that, don't you gain a string on them? Both because they're partial sessions. Is that right?
Can either give them a string or choose from one of the reactions on the partial.
Okay, so I'm just having. I would say I'm gonna have them react, so that's fine.
yeah, I don't have any particular thing that says so.
Okay, so it's on the main list of all the
Oh, okay.
So
Oh, like things that happen.
yeah.
Okay.
So basically, they're both like, yeah, we could see afterwards, and they both look at each other like, okay, that's a thing that's happening, maybe, and just sort of like get back to like, oh, we really need to get to the next class. Yeah, we'll doing finger guns. We'll see you later. Just, like, they both like in unison just like run up the door. So with that, you turn them on. They are equally, Harleem at least is doubly uncomfortable, and
Harleen.
and you finally leave the classroom, and everybody else has been shuffling in and out as well. I think you're probably like one of the last people to leave. And I am waiting to hear back from Leona to see if we can take a break. But
I think we still have a little bit of time because it's like an hour and a half into it.
Oh, I thought it was like a half hour.
No, it's usually like an hour and a half into it that you take.
Never mind. I forget these things, so it will be like around
Green.
10?
It has rules.
About 10.
Okay.
Yeah.
9 o'clock my time because I'm on a different time zone.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Sorry. I thought it was now. I was like, oh yeah, perfect timing. Boom, done. Okay.
Out of curiosity, is Esteban still in the, like within the vicinity, or is he just like long gone after this?
Oh no, Esteban has like left the classroom, but was like standing kind of outside it. Like Celine came outside and he still has to wait for Chameleon Sid anyway because they had things to talk about, but before he left, but he's still outside.
Okay, I'm just checking. I feel like Kara would just like walk up to him directly and just be like with a note on it detailing exactly what the homework is. Like, here's the work. You do have to do it at some point, otherwise you are going to fail the class.
Esteban takes the note, kind of looks at it, folds it very nicely, puts it in some other passing student's pocket, and is just like, thank you. I'll remember that.
Okay. Just saying, if you fail the class, it's probably not going to look very good.
That's never been a problem.
I mean, not if nobody knows what you do to make sure you succeed, but,
Ooh. I don't know.
But anyways, I'm going to head out. Like she just said, I don't think she means, I out of character kind of mean it somewhat threateningly, but Kara does not like, it doesn't come off that way, but I mean out of character.
Are you trying to shut him down, or are you just
kind of? Yeah, I
go ahead and give me a roll.
Okay, that one's shutting down. Yep. Not sure why I'm doing this. This is nope.
Ooh, get some experience. So you say this as you're trying to, but I don't know if SD recognizes it as even being like a comment in that manner. Do you, SD, or?
I think SD notices. But I think SD's mostly. I don't know how much narration I can do here because I have an idea. Okay,
reacting to this.
SD isn't actually like using his influence to pass the class. He just passes. He does the work. It just doesn't take him very long. And he just does it. And then like he does the bare minimum he needs to pass because he knows he can, and then leaves. So what he's actually doing the work. So like this idea that he's like bribing the teachers or the staff to let him do this is kind of funny to him. because it never occurred to him as a thing to do because he didn't have to do it. So Kara's like, oh, well, people knew. He's like, I don't know what you're... Oh, actually, that's not a bad idea. Huh. How much time would that save?
Is Kara still here to see his like sort of like realization, or did she erase the doodle?
No. If she probably like sticks around to see just what like his bare reaction to her saying that is, and then she just sort of runs down the hallway towards the bathroom and like doesn't actually even open the door. She just passes through it with her stuff,
Okay.
like just hiding in one of the stalls.
Yeah.
Yeah. Esteban is like, as cars run off, is like, thanks for the idea, and then like shouts into the classroom from the hall, Camellia, I have a thing I have to run by you.
I'm coming. Oh my god! And Camellia's like has the book and she's like closing it. She's like, I had to get my stuff situated with your book.
No, it's fine. Take your time. It's an idea. It's gestating at the moment. We'll get there.
Okay. I'm here now.
Have the twins left, by the way?
I think the twins are leaving right now.
Okay, right now. And yeah, so Esteban goes, oh, you two, I need to talk to you later because I have ideas.
They're both like, and you can see that they're both like red-faced, just, very at this awkward feeling, like just, it seems like they're very awkward at this point. They're like, okay, yeah.
All right, I'm gonna also roll hot because Esteban just does that normally.
No, it's just 2 NPCs. There are other people.
But these are twins.
Fair point. The twins makes them worth 8 NPCs in the minds of our characters.
It's real bad.
Oh, God.
Right, excellent.
I think, well, let's go ahead and they continue this awkward streak, and they're like, okay, sure, yeah, we could later. I heard there's a party tonight. Did you want to talk?
Oh, I'll be there.
Okay, yeah, we could. We can, yeah, more finger guns, and they're just like, I think I'm about to run.
Esteban's like, you look flustered. Go home, drink some water. Simple things.
All right, and so the rest of school continues on. Anything particular happening this Friday? This first week for back to school Friday?
I think there's the barnyard party happening in the evening.
Well, I mean, like at school itself.
Oh.
Oh, I have an idea. Lunchtime. Hank rolls around.
Yep.
What's y'all's usual placement for lunch? It's an old cafeteria. This whole school was built in the 1950s, so it's one of those indoor cafeterias, but it has a nice courtyard outside that you can scoot to if you want to.
I go make out with Jamili.
Oh, I was like,
That's my lunch. That's my lunch.
Ooh, all right. I love it. Y'all go off to the broom closet and have some fun.
Yep.
Which kind? Oh.
Yes.
Correct answer.
Boy. I think Esty notices that Mona has vanished from the scene of the cafeteria, but it's just like, I accept this. And
I'll be rating.
We're necking.
We're necking.
Is this like a normal like lunchtime thing that Mona would do?
Yeah, you actually don't ever see her around lunch. You probably see her like before or after, but never in the lunchroom itself, never in the courtyard. Yeah.
So Cattell knows this closet where they meet or whatever, and she has like a little hole like bored in the wall, that
She has a
because
glory hole, pretty much.
yeah. Yep.
Oh,
Exactly.
and I know exactly where it is, and I make sure I ham it up for the camera.
Yep.
Is there a camera around, or does Cattell just enjoy the show?
No, she's just
Camera.
enjoying the show. Yeah, she's just enjoying the show, and and also like she's not even trying to be like super subtle about it. I think she's like eating like a Snickers bar or something, like something that like crunches on the
Bag of chips.
yeah.
The most graceful.
I love it. Are you there the whole time, Cattell, or are you just are you eventually head to the lunchroom as well?
Do you need to refuel on Snickers?
She I think that's what she does for the lunch.
All right, so
That's the whole time.
SD knows that both Mona and Cattell are never there for lunch. How does SD feel about that?
I think SD plans to talk to Cattell about it at some point because, like, talking to Mona is a chore.
Nice phrase of words.
But any time that can be avoided is like avoiding making your bed. It's just better for everyone, and you're not going to care about it anyways. But like, definitely wants to talk to Cattell about what Cattell's up to because that is interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And Kara, sure. What do you do for lunch?
So Mona, to be clear, this is like a regular thing that you do for lunch, right?
Yep.
I feel like it's less often. It's not as often as Cattell does it, but I feel like she's just kind of like floating somewhere above the ceiling, just watching and like taking, like writing down notes as how, not, like more how Mona looks throughout it, less than like actual like sexual pleasure. Her focus is just noting how she looks throughout the whole process and seeing if she can copy it.
Yeah. You're looking at scientific research instead of like pleasure viewing.
Yeah, she's very much just like maybe it'll look like if I can look that way, when I get with someone, things will be right. Like that's her perspective on it.
So that means Kara and Cattell both know that Mona's a vampire. Then is that right?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
All right. How does that make y'all feel?
The vampire thing?
Yeah, the vampire part.
Oh, Cattell's, she's cool with that, actually.
All right.
Yeah.
And
no
Kara?
problem. She'd be willing to donate.
Oh, okay. Nice. But how does Kara feel?
Kara is probably... I think she's outwardly indifferent to it for the most part. She's like, huh, that's really interesting. I would have thought I didn't notice that. Like, she probably has like, Kara's the kind of person who like keeps notebooks or like just little note-taking things on everyone that she like actually pays attention to. And she's probably like the first few times she saw Mona where like, it's one of those moments where like she's like awkwardly floating up in the ceiling watching all this, and she's like pulling out her books, like going through, and she's like, no, nothing that would suggest, oh wait, that suggests, yeah, that's vampire, yeah, that's the thing.
And but I wink at you anytime I'm looking up there, like, I know you're there.
How does Kara feel like when she's being spotted?
She probably tries to adapt as need be to make sure she's not noticed on future moments. Probably the first few times when she gets spotted, she just adopts to make sure she can just very silently and carefully watch Mona at work. Because that's how, like, Mona's, I think, her ideal until like she started paying attention to Cattell for how she wants to look and be like this, like she's like perfect. And that's what Kara feels like she needs to be to feel right. Okay. So she just has to take the right amount of notes to be her.
All right. And so SD, you realize that Mona, Kara, and Cattell are not in the lunchroom. However, the rest of your posse is. And
Chameli.
Chameli's not there either. I'm sorry.
Yep. That leaves an entire classroom full of people to hit on.
That's like a lot of people to hit on. Or do you usually eat lunch during lunch, or do you like snack, or do you just really just hang out and talk with the crew?
I think Esteban Esteban eats lunch because the thing for them is like he's about being approachable, like even if he's put himself in this position. It's about like, no, if you need something, come talk to me. Like me, I will help you in exchange for things later. So he eats lunch sort of, I think, dead center in the cafeteria.
Where so everybody can see him.
Right, but where he can keep an eye on everyone too, and just sort of like moving on things and see what's happening. So.
All right, and as you're eating lunch, and it's a pretty, people come say hi and like, pass by, pay their respect as they know who you are and what you do. All of a sudden, you see this tall, gangly man, boy, teenager, because they're in between at that point.
Close it up.
Yeah, with a pair of just square glasses, like a little like button-down shirt and slacks, and him and a couple other similar-looking men follow after teenagers follow after him, and they get to the picture table. And he's like, "Steve, I don't know if we met. I'm Ruben. It's nice to meet you. I'm the president of the chess club. Do you mind?"
Like when Ruben says it's nice to meet you, just goes, "Yeah, I know," and then just lets him continue.
Do you mind to have a seat?
And this sort of just kind of like waves his hand, and like Sid sort of gets up from where he was sitting next to him, sort of walks around the other side of the table, and specifically only leaves a spot for Ruben.
Okay.
Because obviously the rest of the people behind him aren't worth considering if they're like standing at angles behind him. He knows the setup already. Clearly the person worth talking to is in front.
All right. And as Ruben goes to sit down, he's like, "I don't know if you heard that I'm hosting a little get-together tonight, and I just wanted to let you know that that it's happening."
I had heard of that, yes. It's not particularly a well-kept secret, I've found.
All right. Well, good to hear that. Just wanted to pass the invitation to you personally as well. I knew a word was getting around. I just wanted to make sure that you and your group was there. Also,
I appreciate the courtesy.
Yeah, and sorry to cut off narrative real quick, but shout out to Crystallize Me. Thank you for some glorious spits. Appreciate you.
Toss the biddies away.
Toss the bit. I almost said it too.
Sorry. Okay.
We can only allow John to be Deadpool in small increments.
Right.
And I think on that note, we should take a break. We'll be back in about 10 minutes or so. So sit tight and wait for the second part. Thank you.
Hey everybody, it's Leona, your producer, and I'm just here to give a huge thank you to our Patreon sponsors. I'm just gonna list up all of the names: Swordsfall, Jen K, M. Dobson, Creative Diva, Gemma, GMTDM, Daniel S, Bria, Britt Knowles, Book Zombie, Fox Barrett, Hansi, Jack C, Michelle E, Cherie A, Counts, Mean Midair, Bisonic Kevin, Mets Girl, Media Junkie, Michael Wayne, Leona, that's me, Slampy, Christy S, Thanrand Solani, I hope that's how you say your name, Nerdy Teddy Bear, The Bardic Nook, Wild Engineer, Zen, Drew D, Nina D, Wyvern Swing, Shauna, Star Saber, Miss Misery, and Undid K. Thank you once again to all of our Patreon sponsors for making it possible for us to run. Welcome to the party and have such an amazing time. We'll be back very shortly with the second half of Monsterhearts. I hope you all are having so much fun.
Welcome back. Hope you had a good break. We sure did. We needed a break. I forgot where we left off. Ruben,
Chess Club, invitation.
Chess Club.
What's worse is it's my roommate's name, and I think he's like, why the hell is she yelling my name?
That's the problem is that should be us yelling it, not you.
But yeah, so we are Ruben's texting and he's like, yeah, I wanted to see if I also wanted to work with you because I know you do things. And he sort of gives like a little wink.
Esteban just like holds up a hand, is like, all right, first off, you want to work with me, which means you need to offer something. You can't just say that. Second of all, don't with the wink. The wink is bad. Like, it needs some practice maybe before you debut that in public again, but like, I see what you're going for. It doesn't work.
Oh, sorry. I'm still new to the business side of things.
No, it's good. You do you. You've got the whole glasses and the flannel going on there. Like, you've got a look.
I do. It's called being the president of a chess club.
Yes, it very definitely screams president of some kind of club.
Thanks. So I heard you have hookups for like, is it for alcohol? I'm not sure because it would be nice if we get some drink for the party tonight. If you know people, and I could pay you. If payment's like something y'all like, I don't know. Do you like more, or do you?
Payment is complicated, but let's talk about the alcohol, right? You want to drinks. Well,
yeah, I just wanted to it's a party. It's my senior year at least. I want to basically just have a good time, start it off with the right note, have people, fun, and see where the night takes us. Sure.
And someone sort of thinks for a minute and then sort of like, do you want me to roll for knowing somebody has it, or can I just declare that I do?
What are you doing?
Do you want me to roll for having a connection for booze, or you want me to declare that?
You can just say you can.
Okay, excellent. Yeah. So someone sort of just like taps the table, and Camille sort of like, I think tears something out of a notebook and slides it across the table to him, and he sort of folds it up, does the same thing he did with the note Kara gave him with the homework, and sort of puts it in Ruben's pocket, and it's just like sort of puts it there, looks at like what I'm assuming is something like a pocket protector, and it's just like raises an eyebrow, like, really? This okay? You're committed. I can see that. Puts it in the pocket, sort of taps the pocket, and says, "Look, I offer alcohol. That's fine. What payment? Enjoy your night, and maybe." And he sort of just kind of like gestures behind him to where like Camellia, Sid, and Celine are sitting at the different parts of the table. Maybe you'll have some fun later. I want people to enjoy themselves. That's the whole point.
And he looks at the three of them, and chess club realness starts setting in as he starts becoming like this awkward. He was so strong at the beginning, and then like pretty people, and he's like, sure, let's.
Absolutely rolling to turn him on.
Okay, do it.
And I'm offering one of the three, depending on whether his choice is. So I think I get a +2 to that, right?
If you're turning him on, I believe so.
I believe so. Yes. Turn.
Are you rolling, or are you doing what you call it, rolling?
What?
Oh, I thought I heard dice like jingling in the background.
Oh no, that's my keyboard. It's loud. Turn the king on his side. ...
Oh.
How? Okay, so he had to have at least
2d6. It's 2d6.
But he had to have gotten.
I got max 6s. Yeah,
he got double 6
plus my 2 plus the 2 modifier from having a pasta.
Oh my god!
All right.
You are Deadpool. You are actually
Seduce the rest of the class while Mona is gone. Phase 1 complete.
So what does a 12 plus do again?
Sorry?
What does a 12 plus do again? Do you have the
On hot, so I gain a string on them, and they choose a reaction from. So they get the reaction, and I choose a string, and I get a string on them.
I think he becomes the awkward.
Oh.
Well, what were the other strings? Say he's into it, or
It is. I promise something I think you want. I get embarrassed and act awkward, or I give myself to you, or in this case, one of the three. I think is probably more reliable.
Yeah. Let's see.
REUBEN.
REU what?
Ben.
Ben.
Sorry, I'm writing down the string.
Oh yeah, REUBEN.
Cool.
I'm trying to. I should have this up. I thought I had it up. Apparently, I don't have it up. I am the worst.
For those of you listening at home and in the comfort of your own spaces, I want you to know that I have a playlist going, and For Your Entertainment by Adam Lambert is currently playing. And right about the time I got to Once I'm In, I Own Your Heart is when I rolled a 16. Just saying.
How fitting.
God.
Oh
how fitting. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
okay, so I have it on now. Yeah, so okay, I said I get embarrassed. Well, he is embarrassed, but because he's nerd boy. But I think,
yeah.
Oh my God, Michi! Did you see what Michi wrote in the chat?
I did not. I don't have the chat open right now.
Michi said that king is gonna get castled. Just want to share with you.
Michi strikes again. We love you, Michi.
Thank you.
With your colorful commentary as always.
Beautiful.
All right, so yeah, he's like, even though he's awkward and confused and like, just like, oh, and like, but he's like, yeah, that seems fun. We'll discuss more later, maybe after the party, and let's do it.
Esteban, yeah. So he sticks his hand. Esteban sort of like Ruben sticks out his hand. Esteban just goes, "No, we don't do that around here."
Oh, what do you do then? A hug?
Yes.
And he lean like the sitting lean sort of hug because they're
sitting sort of leans hug. Esteban sort of does that turn on a school bench where you can pivot, turn your entire body and just sort of leans into it and just whispers in his ear, "Let me know which one you like," and then leans back and then says, "Yeah, I think we have a deal."
All right, so he looks at all of them and he's like, "I'll let you know."
As Ruben's like, "Take your time."
Okay, and he just
got plenty of it.
Doodles. He's gone. Anywho, that's lunch.
Oh yeah,
It was.
And yeah. Does anybody else have any certain things that happen during school itself, or pretty much loosey-goosey fun times? All right. What do y'all do after school? Do y'all just head home? Do you go to the corner? What's y'all's plan for the after school sort of thing before the barnyard that's happening? Probably later on 7 or so.
I probably am gonna go home for a dress change to something even more ostentatious.
I love it.
As the night goes, the outfits get more and more
multiple scene changes. Nice.
Oh yeah. Anytime Mona goes to the restroom or something, in something else completely, as if the 2-3 hours were spent in changing. But it was 5 minutes, and it's suddenly new outfit.
So you go home and get ready for the party tonight. What does Kara do?
It kind of depends. Actually, I think it'd be better if Cattell went first, because I think what Kara does depends on where Cattell goes, because she knows where Mona's going, but I think it'd depend more on what Cattell's doing. All
right, Cattell, what are you doing?
Yeah, Cattell is gonna go home. She is also doing an outfit change too. She is for school, she had like, it was all black, like it was a black tunic, black knee-high boots, and black gloves. And for this party, she is wearing all white. It is a white tunic. It looks exactly the same as the black tunic, but it's white. And she has knee-high boots and white gloves again. Like, it's the exact same outfit. It's just in white.
I love it. That's fantastic. I love how you're like going for like your nighttime, daytime looks are like completely swapped, and it's fantastic. All right, so you're heading home to change. Kara, what are you doing then?
I think if Cattell and Mona are both just going home and doing long change, Kara is just going to split her time between following Cattell and watching her change, and then going to Mona's and watching her change. Okay. She is the entire time just being very covert, just making sure she's not caught, and just taking notes on their outfits to see what she can come together by going home and taking whatever old things she can from her mom's closet, because her mom never notices when she's around ever, and then trying to make an outfit out of that.
All right. What did she find as an outfit then?
I feel like it ends up being like she tries to copy Cattell's outfit, but every time she wears anything white, she never understands why. She has the same splotchy polka dot pattern appear on any sort of clothing that she wears.
Oh, okay.
And it always, like, when it newly shows up, it's not like thick or anything, but it's like it's very clearly like a deep red liquid, like crimson liquid that shows up every time she puts on new clothes. And sort of to cover it up, to maybe try and match with it, she tries to like find like a nice scarf or like a long like pashmina that she feels somewhat matches Mona's style. It in her mind, none of it ever actually looks anywhere near as good as what either of them are wearing, but she's like, well, I don't expect to actually be as pretty as them, but I can keep trying and keep failing, and that's okay. Like, that's, but she just spends time, stares at Cattell, stares at Mona, takes notes on them both, and then goes home.
May I suggest something, which you're totally okay to be like, no, that doesn't really work?
Sure.
How about the first few times you went unnoticed, but then when I sort of feel a presence, I look at you and I start leaving clothes that are sort of like, it looks like basically, oh, yeah, no, I'm not going to wear this right now or whatever. But they're pieces that clearly don't match my ensemble, but they actually match yours.
I'm okay with that, actually.
Aww.
Actually, I'll leave this. I was going to say what I think, whether or not she'd have caught on. I'd leave it up to you, actually, Mona. Do you think Kara would catch on after a while?
Initially, it's sort of left as a subtle thing, but like after a couple of days, I'm sort of almost like when you're almost looking in the mirror with me and trying to sort of adjust your clothing to match mine, you slowly see I'm arranging things on you, like you barely even notice, and I'm sort of just very gently sort of tucking it in to make it a little more fashionable.
Yeah, I bet at that point, if Kara notices, like, that you're actually, are you doing like direct touch to like a?
Oh yeah,
direct. Yeah. Then I think at that point she wants to run, but she doesn't say anything, and she just like stays like bright red there, just kind of close to you, and like, yeah, you know what? Fuck it. She tries to go in for like a kiss, but.
And I allow it, and I'm not like, it's meaningful.
Yeah. Kara will then also be like, okay, that was great. Not gay at all. I'm gonna go. I'm out. And she just flows through the wall.
Next time.
She flies through the wall.
Yeah, like I was trying to stop you, but once you've gone through the wall, I'm like, next time I'll suggest she maybe changes into something that I have.
So I was stuck around.
I was Cattell, I think actually also notices Kara watching her, but she doesn't say anything and doesn't acknowledge it at all. I mean, Cattell is well versed on,
That's true.
looking at people. She's straight up a voyeur. Like, we'll just say that she's absolutely a voyeur, and she gets something out of that. So she doesn't judge Kara for following her and watching her, because she just figures that whatever it is, Kara's getting something out of it in the same way.
I love it. Yeah, awesome. And Esteban, what you doing after school?
Playing a completely different game than these three, apparently. No, it's good. I'm enjoying this a lot. I think SD is probably like going around being like, all right, where can I find some black lights and really nice alcohol? Like, not like the alcohol I'm letting him get, but like some nice ones. I'll give it to him as a gift. Like Ruben will have access to things I have to, so he knows that we mean business around here. Like, when you ask for a favor from Esteban, it's not just like a one and done. It's like, we will go over the top and we'll give you something that you didn't even know you needed until you needed it. So he's like pulling in connections to make this party lit AF.
Awesome. I love it. All right. So basically shaking hands, talking to your contacts, getting the liquor that's needed. Not only that, but getting the extra oomph, the necessary things. And
definitely did not pick a black light because there's a lot of white going on. Definitely didn't do that.
That's not. Why would you do that?
Deadpool. Teenage Deadpool is what we have playing with it.
I'm sorry. This
John
was
Poole.
from the start.
Or TV
Pool.
TV pool.
Right. So that's how the evening's going. Kara, anything else you're doing other than watching the two and trying out your sexuality with Mona and then realizing it's not for you and then leaving?
Well, no, it is for her. She's just saying no. She denial goes to every aspect of who she is as a person. She is soaking. She is like laryngeal abyss levels of denial about everything. I don't quite. I'm still like learning how this mechanic actually works for Gaze into the Abyss.
Yeah, definitely. So
but I was wondering, is there any way to like format that narratively so where she finds out what ST likes in his girls?
Okay, so basically you're just trying to like gaze further into the darkness about what Esteban enjoys, like what he's into. I think you can do that. I think with Kara either looking at him or looking at something like a photo of him or just something that remembers him.
She has photos of him.
Oh, she has photos of him. Yeah. So basically you just lay these photos out on your desk or bed or whatever, and you stare and you look and you sort of just gaze into his eyes that are on these photos, and give me a gaze into the abyss roll.
Okay. That is with dark, which I am trained in. Partial success.
All right, partial success. Let me see here. Partial success for gazing into the abyss means let me pull this up here. Okay. So since this is about another player and I don't know exactly about that, basically through a partial success means it's confusing and alarming visions that you have. So how would in like a very cryptic way would it should reflect with Esteban's liking of folk? Like, you want to give a description?
Interesting question. Yeah. So I guess the thing I'm struggling is I can give an answer and confusing and alarming visions, but those two don't quite connect for me in Same, like they don't. I haven't figured out a way to link them.
Okay, so tell me what it is, and I'll try to make it cryptic.
So I think for confusing and alarming visions, Kara gets like the image of just like a spider, just like sitting in the middle of like this web that stretches further than she expected. Like I think it's like one of those like shots of like because Kara does a lot of, from what I can tell, a lot of like the ceiling down floating look. So it's like a shot kind of Doctor Strangey-ish, where like Kara's in the air above the town, the web stretches from the town and out into the woods and out into the mountains and out like further down the highway and sort of links into the highway and moves forward. And like there's just like a bunch of eyes looking at her from like the center of this web.
Oh, okay.
But sort of on the flip of that, realizes, I think, that like somewhere in this alarming mess, Esteban's preferences for his own personal time are basically anyone he finds fun or interesting, or that's like a separate part, sort of like how a spider's web has bits where the spider can stand and move around without having to touch the web itself. But like that's where his interests are, is the stuff in between the cracks of like there's what's useful to him and the gang, and then there's the people I like, which are two very different things but sort of caught up in the same.
I like that. So basically the web itself is like, just the silvery lines of a spider web, while the negative space in between it's like vibrant colors, rainbows, gradients, sparkles, and sort of just everything in between. So it's this like really interesting contrast of a spider webs and a spider like swooping down, but at the same time has this just bright, brilliant background that after a few seconds you eventually come back to when you're sitting there looking at his photographs again. Kara, does that make sense? As much as confusing?
Yeah, there's a sense that it's that like all of the imagery is just alarming to me, but there's a clear answer of like social ST, personal ST. Personal ST is not exact this exact phrasing, but it's like relatively indifferent to who it is, so long as it's just a fun person with personality, I imagine.
Pretty much.
Yeah, okay. I like that. All right, so. All right. Anybody else do anything like that, or y'all want to go right to the barnyard, and kick this night off?
Oh yeah.
Let's kick off the party.
All right, party time. Yeah.
I come in again fashionably late.
Of course. I mean, the party starts at 7:30. You probably get there like 8. So
more
like
9.
Oh, okay, 9. All right. So what time does everybody else get there?
So if the party starts at 7:30, Cattell probably shows up about 8:15.
Okay. So a little late, but like, the decently late, like sort of like,
right.
I'm not going to be here earlier first, but like I will be here semi-early-ish. Right.
Exactly.
How about Kara?
Kara is like the keeping of the shadows and just trying to be on the outside of it, but probably coming a little bit earlier than Cattell is, just like, because she likes getting a sense of the area, so she knows where the escapes are. Mm-hmm. She knows where people tend to be making out, or where they tend to just get involved into anything else, and just see where she can be as needed to just take notes on everyone, especially where any of the more boisterous crowds of women are.
Okay. And Esteban, what time do you get there?
5:30.
Oh, that's right. Set up. That's right.
Because Esteban, this is now an Esteban party, whether or not Ruben thinks it is, and that means everything has to be up to standard. Which means he's there with the PoC, making sure everything is like kosher for him.
All right.
Like this is, if his name's on it, it's gonna be worthy of it, essentially.
Yeah, I mean, the talk was after the afternoon rumors you heard, it was like, oh, Esteban and the crew is going to be there. Of course, it's going to be a party everyone wants to go to. So, yeah, even though it's not, like, on the official invitation, but there's not official invitations. So, like, yeah, your name's being spread in correlation of the party. So, I understand. I get you. So, what time do you actually come into the party, though, after
I think Esteban doesn't come into the party until Ruben is ready to like welcome everybody, and then he's like right next to him.
Yes.
Like not directly behind, like shoulder to shoulder, just kind of lounging as if like, yeah, of course I'm here. I was here the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my party.
Yeah, I would say that's like, I mean, it kind of opened up at 7:30, but it was sort of like the mingling cocktail area, like
8:15, something around there, like 8:15.
Yeah, 8:15. As Cattell sort of strolls in, that's when Ruben goes to the front of like the area before there's another set door. He's like, "Welcome everybody, welcome to the party." I just see what I did there.
Welcome to the party isn't our sponsor. You don't need to like plug them. Like,
You don't need to plug us. They're already here.
You know we're here. Like we already have them viewing us.
What needs to plug that?
That's the name of the place in the show.
Okay, 4 bards should never be in a single session.
Well, they absolutely should. It's great. 4 bards should be in more settings, honestly.
So next D&D one shot we're doing is a game of all bards.
Yes.
I am not running it, but someone should.
Well, there is the eat special if people sign up for that.
I don't know what time it is, but if it's an all bar,
Corralling the cats. Corralling the cats. Corralling the cats. Come on, let's let our MC get this.
I have distracted my own words. I'm so sorry. So he's like, welcome to the beginning of the year. I know the first week's always chaotic, and just and you see he's trying to be like charismatic. It's not his forte, so like, but
Esteban sort of like nudges him in like the rib cage, like, come on, you're in the spotlight. I am in your spotlight. Be worthy of it, for God's sake. Like, come on.
Yeah. He's like, oh yes, yeah. So thank you, Esteban, for helping with all this. I mean, round of applause everywhere.
That's what sort of like just goes back
like
to stand. Yep.
Yeah. All right. And he's like, all right, well, let's get this party started. And so the doors open, and inside is, I mean, Esteban already knows because he's been there setting it up. Dance floor, the cocktails, or like the bar sort of set up. And like it's like a banquet hall in the most part, in the music hall. So like it's like the whole like stagey areas, like where the dance party is, and then like there's the balcony seating that people can go hide away in, and of course like storage rooms and stuff in the back that people can go off and do things if they want to go off and do things, like things are there.
When if Ruben says if, Steven just like Esteban just kind of winks and goes when, and then just like lets him continue.
Right when. He's like, yeah, and he sort of just rubs the back of his neck. He's like, yeah, all right, well, come on in. And he just sort of like opens doors and allows the group in. And it's pretty much like mostly the senior class, so it's pretty much like 100 kids or so. They're coming in, and it's everybody in the senior class. Like everybody in your homeroom is there. So the twins, the family with the 3 kids that are like 10 months apart from each other, Arlette, Esteban's whole crew, Leona's there, just sort of like smiling and like waving as she moves on in with her big old bright smile that she has. And well, she's not here to say anything.
Yes, definitely giving.
She's passing out condoms.
Are you safe? Are you sure?
She has a thing of condoms around. So the party started. The music's bumping. Drinks are a-flowing. Ruben turns to Esteban and he's like, hey, I'm gonna go check some things. I was actually thinking Camellia from our conversation earlier, if that's still okay.
And Esteban's kind of like winks and says, it's really funny. Of the 3 people you could have picked, that's the one I can't just say yes.
Okay.
I'll ask her. I'm pretty sure the answer will probably be yes, but that's a question I actually need to ask.
Okay.
All of
and
them, really.
She's like having a drink already at the bar, so like the bar-ish area, like I don't know where it is.
Esteban sort of like looks over in that kind of the way that siblings do when they don't want to act, like when they like I don't know if people have siblings, but like you can very clearly communicate without actually ever having to talk.
Yeah.
Esteban just like sort of whistles really sharply, and Camellia I think like turns, and he's just like just like snaps fingers and looks at you, like, and then kind of like
and she's like she has a drink and she looks at Esteban and she looks at Ruben and she just like slams it back and takes another drink and just slams it back as well, and then she's like gives a thumbs up.
So yes.
So Ruben's like, oh okay, well I'm actually tell her I'm going to be in the green room.
No, you're not. No, you're not. No.
Okay.
I don't know if you know, but Camellia is the assistant to the event manager here.
Oh, okay.
Talk to her. She knows better places.
Okay. All right. So he's just going to straighten his bow tie.
Ruben, he straightens the bow tie. Esteban just rolls his eyes and like undoes the bow tie, pops off a button, and is like, loosen up.
Okay. So that's
Breathe. Breathing is good. Breathing is good. Do that. No, don't. Don't do that. That's all right. Look, and Esteban like takes Ruben by the shoulders and is like, look at me. Breathe when I do. Okay. In, out. In, out. And then guys just see both. Just like grabs Ruben by the face and is like, "You're gonna be fine."
Okay. All right.
All right. Remember the bluster you came in when you walked up to me in the cafeteria?
Yeah.
Do that all the time.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Awesome.
Okay.
And he just kind of like sort of pushes him by the butt towards Camellia. Just like, all right.
I actually thought you were going to do like a go get him. Like, sort of
I mean, like I was thinking, like Esteban definitely would with people he knew better and was more comfortable. But like he's just met Ruben. Like you keep things nice. It's kind of like meh. You just keep things nice and tame until you ask when necessary, etc., etc.
Totally. All right. Yeah. So he makes his way to the bar and starts drinking. And like has a couple drinks and starts talking to Camellia. And eventually you see them sort of just chatting a bit, and she's like pointing to some like areas in the back. And eventually he finishes like another drink, and they just she takes him by the hand and just leads him to a back room.
Esteban just kind of like watches them go. It's like, I cannot wait to see how that turns out. And then turns back around looking for something new to do.
All right. So Cattell, what are you doing?
Where is Sid during this time?
Would Sid be with Esteban, or is he like just wandering?
Yeah.
Oh no, Sid is like Esteban is like is like near the back end of the room where like the organizing is. Sid is everywhere, like talking to people, being like, I remember you, how were you? How was that time? Remember that time? Sid gets around a lot.
Yeah.
He's a little pinball, just bouncing.
Exactly.
That's why Cattell is interested. She would sort of be like shadowing Sid, like when he goes over to get a drink, she goes over and picks up a cup. When he's like out on the dance floor, she's like dancing with somebody else, like a little bit farther away. She definitely feels like Sid is working tonight, so to speak, and he is incredibly creative and expressive, I guess I might say, and so she always likes to check out what he's up to.
Yeah, he's working the whole room, left, right, up, down, and center. He's everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So he's not really being creative for much, but just like, mingling and talking to people and just like, drinking. So, but yeah, so you're just keeping an eye on Sid as he's bouncing around.
Yeah, I mean, she's waiting to see if he, picks a partner for tonight.
Okay. All right. Cara,
one is.
Oh, go ahead.
one is not the number.
If there's more than one, or
Probably.
multiply at the same time, that is
so probably both.
definitely
occasions,
Cattell's
yes.
speed. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Kara, what are you doing?
This is more a specific question for the MC. Are people already getting to it in terms of the hour?
Some
Or-
people are. You do see some people starting to disappear and like move out, especially Camellia and Ruben. But some people are really just enjoying the night. So like there are a couple people disappearing, but not like everybody's disappearing. But I'd say probably like 5 people have poofed already, 5 to 6.
Okay, should probably be spending just a few minutes just to go and watch a few people just out and about, just like floating above or just hiding in shadows,
Okay.
or like through a wall, just like peering and just like I'm imagining like part of her head and then like her arms, and she just has a notebook that she's just like writing in and then just tucking it back when she's taking notes. But she's probably looking for Esteban to talk to.
All right, Esteban is in the back of the room, but if you're going to spy on people, you're moving into the backstage area of the music hall, and as you're moving through, you're hearing various through closed doors. Just I don't know if you're peeking yet, but through closed doors you hear giggling and like people, other noises happening of that nature, and then you stop by the VIP room, and you don't hear the usual noises, but instead you hear like a mumbling of multiple voices. Do you go to check in on it, or do you wait?
I'm torn because I don't think she would do that, but also I want to keep things interesting, so I'm going to say yes, she does go
All right.
to check it out.
So, interested yet frightened of what may be happening. What are you floating through the ceiling? Are you floating through a wall? Like
Ceiling. If it's ground floor, she's hearing it. She does not want to be anywhere near where she could be spotted, or at least in her mind, she could be easily spotted. She doesn't know what it is.
Yeah.
But she's just floating above.
Okay. So as you sort of sink your way through the ceiling, just so you're probably like halfway through it, just so enough to look through and see. You hear as your ears pass the barrier of the wall itself. It sounds like Latin, maybe. I don't know if you know Latin or not, but it does sound like a verbiage of multiple masculine voices chanting together, strumming together, saying these words and phrases over and over again. You hear, you see within the soft candlelight glow around probably like 4 hooded figures kneeling in a circle with candles in between them. You see on the ground drawn in like white paint, chalk. You're not sure. It looks fastly done. And then you smell. Is that blood? Do you smell blood? And as you look closer in the light and the insides a little bit dimmer as it goes closer, you do see some glistening coming off in the middle of the circle. But and you do see a figure sort of laying there, but you're not sure who it is. You just see a body. What do you do?
I think she freezes up entirely, and she doesn't know how to react because all she remembers is the evening where she passed away. She doesn't think of it as that, but that's all she remembers. The moment she smells the blood and she sees the person down.
Okay.
And darn it, this sucks because I want her to do more, but like I think her reaction would be one of the ghost moves is unresolved trauma.
Okay.
Whenever something brings to mind your death, you choke up and gain the condition traumatized if you don't have it already. So she's just like floating in the air, just stuck, like probably partway through the wall by herself and alone.
All right, so you're just sitting there watching it. Sort of your eyes, maybe your eyes are glazed over, like sort of like you're seeing it and reflecting it, and you're just not exactly sure how to.
No, did she freeze? Did they freeze?
Maybe.
I think
I think they froze.
I think Morgan's froze.
Oh no. So nerdware.
So
It's what
sad.
nerds wear.
So we go straight into advertisement and sponsors. My character just got traumatized remembering what their death is, so this is a perfect time to do a plug.
And now let's go to advertisements.
Exactly. Commercial break.
Are you dealing with unresolved trauma? Do you feel like you need comfortable clothing wear and
How about capitalism?
from crying? Capitalism. No nerdwear.
Replace all of your anxieties with shopping.
Anytime you need to cry, so nerdwear will keep you well with comfortable clothing.
All right, Morgan's back.
What did I miss? Did I freeze? Because everybody froze on me.
You froze.
Yes, you did.
Yeah, you froze.
You froze for us.
Oh, well, I'm just keeping the drama going, yeah.
But you froze right as you were just saying, like, my eyes glazed over and I'm like stuck up there. And then you froze and I was like, well, this is what my character is doing right now. So this is appropriate.
Yeah. Hopefully the camera, okay, good. The camera stayed where they are. So we don't have that issue. All right. So I was just asking, would that seem like something that how she reacts via traumatized or?
I think it's kind of 50-50 whether her reaction when traumatized is either she just bolts in whatever direction she can or she just freezes up. I would leave it up to you to make the call on that one as to which one you think would make things more interesting. Let's go with that.
I think you freeze for a second, just shocked at first about what's going on, and then something like a wave of realization comes over you, and you're like, oh, this is bad. I gotta go, and you eventually poof out of there. So, where would Kara go?
Esteban.
To me.
Oh,
no.
Yeah. Well, actually, we're gonna pause with Kara as she's like moving out of the scene, and we are gonna go to Mona as Mona is just now rolling up to the party.
So I'm probably there at around 8 o'clock, and I'm kind of. Oh no! I'm parked at 8 o'clock, and I'm just waiting. I'm waiting to see when TV goes in, and after about an hour, when I realize TV might have been there already, I sigh and then get out of the car.
I wanted my Bardoff. Where was my Bardoff?
And then I do the whole finding the perfect time when, the whatever air ventilation system is there to catch me perfectly. And I'm like doing the Queen's wave as I enter.
I'm a kid.
Yeah, and I'm just like, oh, hi. Oh, you. Oh, no.
I think Morgan froze again.
Oh no!
Are you wearing what is Mona wearing? Because this is kind of important.
Probably some sort of sari again, but it's like really jewel encrusted and sheer. Like it's got a lot of embroidery. It's sheer. It's very flowing. It's like I'll see if I can find a GIF to share with you of how it looks. Well.
I want to roll Shutdown so bad. I'm really bad at Shutdown, but I really want to roll it anyways. Oh no!
Oh no, her camera dropped entirely.
Well, as you might have noticed, folks, we are having some technical difficulties with Morgan's connection, so I guess you'll just have to listen to us entertaining you for however long. Or we go to a technical break. Not sure which. You'll find out.
We will. Yeah. In the meantime, you can enjoy the shenanigans of the 4 players here, namely Deadpool, second Deadpool, third Deadpool, and confused, traumatized girl.
So a Deadpool movie. Deadpool, other Deadpool, Deadpool's voice number 3, and the plot.
Well, I feel attacked by this relatable content, and it is unfair.
Right.
So seconds of this video link I just sent you.
You're back.
You have returned.
Yay!
What's going on the internet? I'm so sorry.
That's all right.
No
I guess
worries,
in.
viewers. You will have to deal with our actual game this time instead of our side Deadpool movie that was about to begin. But you can come back at another time for us.
Probably way better, honestly. Let's get on with it. Let's keep playing this game that people are watching us play.
Right.
Yeah.
Remember, we have an audience.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, we do. Wait, people are watching us.
Oh god, I guess we can't just talk. Right?
Thank you for keeping the party going as my internet is doing a thing. I don't know why it's doing a thing.
No worries.
The Wi-Fi router is right there, so I don't know like why it's doing it.
I've literally had a mobile hotspot like this far away from me. But you were saying, so Mona was making the entrance
Yes.
with the Queen's
Yes.
wave looking
And
fabulous.
I really want to roll Shutdown. I'm awful at Shutdown. Shutdown is like a -1 for, or is it a 1 for me? But
Whatever.
Do it.
I want to do it. I'm doing this thing.
Yeah. So I see Mona, and you're about to say something. So do the roll, and then we'll go into the role play.
Partial
Ooh,
success. Okay, that's
Ooh.
not awful.
That's not bad. That's for shut someone down.
Yes.
7 to 9. Choose one from the below, but you come
Cool.
across poorly, and they give you
Excellent.
in return.
Okay, that's fine.
Oh, let's sleep. All right. So what do you say?
I think. So Esteban doesn't say anything, but like Mona walks in and Esteban sees it, and then just sort of like in that anime sort of ringing finger snap kind of trope thing, so like snaps his fingers in the back of the stage, and then all the lights go off and the black lights come on, and the music starts going right as she enters. And I'm assuming from this in the condition, like it actually works out pretty well for her entrance. It doesn't.
Because I'm wearing neon. I'm wearing like little neons, which actually look even better.
It works out okay. But I want to take away the string Mona has on Esteban.
Okay.
All right. And so these lights happen, and these colors go off.
Uh-huh.
And this brightness happens right as you're walking in, and you're like, "Oh, this is nice. This is for me." What? And you see Esteban. What do you think of him? What kind of condition do you give him?
What conditions are possible?
Anything you consider condition. So.
There's
There's not like a list, but like you can just.
Frustration.
So you find him frustrating?
Yeah.
All right. So Esteban gets the condition frustrating. It does check out.
That's pretty reasonable. Yeah.
All right. So you see him. You see Cattell sort of like, on the prowl, in a sense. And you don't see Kara as of yet, but I think at this point Kara is starting to move back into where people are.
I'm looking for the twins.
Oh, the twins are there. They are busy drinking. They are actually just trying to shots with one another, like seeing who can drink the fastest. So they're doing like a quick, I think chug your beer sort of like situation. I don't know. I don't know what college kids do nowadays for drinking.
I do a lot of things.
Yeah.
I make a beeline for them.
All right. They see you. They're like, "Oh, hey, how are you? You look great."
I'm doing good. How are the both of you? And I put like one hand on each, and I'm sort of like resting it loosely. I'm like, "How are the two of you doing?"
We're great. We got our drinks, and we're enjoying the night. It's been a good party so far. It's a lot of people.
Do you want to do shots off of me?
Give me a turn someone on.
I'm gonna use both the strings I have on them to add 2 to the roll.
Okay. Yeah, definitely. All right, partial session. So that means let me look back here again. Sorry, I'm trying to read. They're like, yeah, maybe not right now because we're not at hard liquor yet. We're still at beer, but maybe in a bit we'll totally love to do like some like tequila shots or something.
And I sort of wink and I say, you know where to find me, and I wander off.
Then they give a wave as you saunter away. All right, and the camera pans back to Cattell. Cattell, what are you doing?
So I think Cattell actually saw that happening. She's keeping an eye on all the people that she knows may end up, in a bedroom or back room or something before the end of the night. And Mona's definitely on her list for that. So she kind of takes her eyes off Sid for right now. She sees the whole thing that was going on with Mona and the twins, and now she wants to, cause a little bit of chaos, I guess I will say. So she's going to go up to Hakeem, and she's gonna sort of put her arm around his shoulder and sort of move up close to him, and like she's swaying to the music, and then she wants to cast one of her hexes on Hakeem.
What hex is she casting?
She wants to do her illusion hex, which creates non-existent subtext.
Okay. Do you have to roll for this? I don't remember.
I do. Yeah, I do have to roll to see if I'm successful.
All right, let's see what you got.
Let's see.
There we go.
Oh, you know what? She's actually doing this to Harleen because I'm going to use the sympathetic token.
Nice. Yes, use your token. You got it.
Yeah, so I get a plus on that because tokens act like strings. And I am just reading to see what I roll. Dark. Okay, I roll with dark. I don't know how to add the +1.
Oh, I don't know either. Sorry, I don't.
When you roll 20, it should give
the
you a
modifiers.
modifier. Yeah, you just add it as a modifier with +1 when it asks you for modifiers.
I don't have that. It
So,
says,
so you're rolling for dark. So click on click on dark.
I did.
That'll already add whatever your stat is for dark. There should be a prompt on the Roll20 page asking for any additional modifiers. If your hex or any other condition gives you an additional modifier, just change the 0 modifier to whatever it is.
It prompts for a thing that says comment, but
just write
skip
whatever.
that one.
Right,
That one you can skip, and then it'll ask for modifiers after that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I see.
I don't know.
Right.
I don't have to roll anything, so I don't know.
I'm very quick study at these. That's a success.
Yeah. Ooh.
Nice.
Excellent.
All right, let's see here. So you said non-existent subtext?
Yes.
All right. You have no control over the exact images or manifestation. So what were you aiming for?
I was aiming to kind of get a little bit of chaos going between who Mona was going to end up with at the end of the night. Like maybe
both of them.
Yeah, but now one of them is going to get like this. Now Harleen is going to get like this non-existent subtext about whether Mona is really interested or not.
Oh yeah. So Hakeem or Harleen?
Harleen.
Oh no, they're so close in name. Shoot.
I know.
Okay, so Harleen sees that and then like starts thinking back and like sees in his text eyes that Mona is sort of like winking and flirting with Hakeem and ignoring him now completely and then Harleem's like, wait, what I thought she wanted me too. And he sort of just like pushes his brother. He's like, what the hell, man? Like, I thought this was both of us. And Hakeem's like, what? I thought it was too. What do you mean? He's like, yeah, I see her flirting with you a lot more. Yeah, that's not fair. Or see them flirting with you a lot more. Like, I see how it is. And he's just like, I literally don't know what's going on. Harleen just sort of like storms off. Just sort of like shoulder checking people like as he's moving away. Is that the chaos you wanted?
And yeah, Cattell smiles like.
And as you get that smile, like, yeah, this is what I wanted. The camera's gonna shift to Kara as Kara's starting to move in. Kara, where are you going?
I think she would have initially wanted to go talk to Esteban with having seen what she did, but she probably gets very distracted seeing Mona there at the party.
All right, so you were making a beeline for Esteban, and then you see Mona, and then you sort of like turn.
Just
hard turn, just
yes, very hard turn.
Yeah. All right, so you head over to Mona. Take it away.
Hi.
Oh, hi. Hi, you left before I could... I mean, I still have the clothes in the car if you wanted to try them out.
That would be really great. I just saw something terrible. I need to wait.
Was it Ruben going at it with someone?
No.
And was it, I now name someone else randomly making out with someone else randomly?
No, I'm imagining there's like a couple minutes where you're like naming names and we're just like, I'm just like, no. Wait, does he still go here? Okay, never mind. No. Wait, she's still here. She was really cute. Actually, never mind. I don't say those kinds of things. No. You remember the night Carl died?
I sort of blush a little. I don't usually blush, but now I actually blush because I remember exactly what happened. And I say, yeah, what about it?
Somewhere along that, someone's already... What happened to Carl?
It wasn't me. I was changing.
That's fine. I don't think anyone misses him. It's okay. No one remembers he was around anyways, but do you want to make out? I need a distraction. Do you want to go make out? I need to process this really well.
And I just plant one right on your lips, right there. I just start. Like, you barely say make and then face on your face.
The bass drops right at this moment.
Damn it, John.
And if either of the two of them are looking up towards the DJ stage, Steven is leaning over the DJ and is just like...
Well, I wasn't expecting that.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought that's what you want to do.
Yeah. Well, I feel she did. I'm imagining like part of her blushing is that she starts fading out of existence partially, just sections of her body, not entirely. She doesn't know how to process any of it.
Like a invisible girl sort of like powers where she doesn't really have control of them and she's like has emotions and it happens.
You can't see me blushing if I'm invisible.
Exactly.
But you hear everything.
Everything. So I'm gonna go tell Esteban.
Okay. So
he should probably know.
that we
but-
made out? I mean, I think Esteban already saw that.
I'm gonna go. She just starts like talking. like I think she like
turns on a heel and leads.
yeah, like she doesn't know how to process like just getting a direct kiss. Partially because out of character, I was going to spend strings to have her do that get Mona to do that exact thing, but never mind.
Don't need to do that.
Don't have to do that at all. But I think. Yeah, she's just gonna go up to Esteban after that point. But before she leaves, she's like, Mona, do you want to do that again sometime after this? I'll find you. Just wait for me to watch. I'll be back.
Okay, and I just go and I start slamming some shots.
Shots.
And then, yeah, she just goes to like try and find Esteban.
It
Probably
is really
passing
not
by.
that hard to find him. He's like right there, still like.
Esteban?
Real quick, as you're heading that way, does Cattell see this? As she's causing chaos and looking across her domain of chaos.
Yeah, like I think she definitely sees what's happening between Mona and Kara, and she's actually a little disappointed that Kara like leaves and there's not anything further happening at the moment.
Okay. All right.
Are the twins still fighting? As a note, or like are they still like are they still causing a ruckus?
I would say that Harleem sort of like ran off, like shoulder checking people like outside, and Hakeem's like, "Come on, bro, just talk to me about it," and like is starting to like chase after him. So like I think at this point Hakeem actually has also left the building.
Okay. So Esteban like has probably seen the two of them like get into a tiff and then leave.
Yeah.
And is like sort of like snapped his fingers and put forward and like none of his gang move here, but it's like one of the chess club kids is like, what? And he's like, you should go after them. And he's like, why? And I'm like,
it's not even one of the ones that like was really named. It was just like, oh yeah, this is one of the other members of the chess club. Like,
yep, it's like you need to take care of that. It's like, why? Like, this is your party. If people are having a bad time, you go find out why.
Oh, okay. Just sort of like,
God.
He's like one of those just awkward kids.
Yeah, no, he's like, all right, step one, you ask, are you okay? If they don't say anything, give them some space. Don't push too hard. Do I have to do everything myself around here? Okay, look, just like, and this one like sort of like looks around.
Do you need help?
Takes the pocket protector from him, and yeah.
I think it's at that moment where like Kara like just like without you noticing she popped up next to you. It's just like, do you need help?
Roll for surprise.
It's Esteban surprised that she's popped up.
It's like, wow, okay, all right, that's a neat trick. I'll get to you in a second. And then sort of like takes the pocket protector from the thing, like grabs a Sharpie, scribbles like the instructions on how to talk to people on it, puts it in his face, and is like, go, just, like take this and go.
Okay, all right, and he just like turns and just scuttles off.
Yeah.
So
it turns around. Yes.
Yeah. Couple of things. Somebody's dying back there or is dead over there. Two, how do I dress like the people you always have around you? Three, do you want to go out sometime?
Ezra like processes that influx of information and is like, 2, I can ask them, or they can show you if I ask them. 3, sure. 1, why was that not the only concern on your list? And it like sprints off backwards, like into the background to be like, how was any of the rest of these two? I mean, like, yes, but no, and like goes off in the back to find out what the hell is going on.
I feel like I wanted to just be a slight thing that you hear, like as you're like darting off, you just hear her like very confusedly like saying, "Am I gay?"
And actually, wait, can Esteban hear that as he's running away?
Yes. I read it the last thing that you hear.
I'm so like, am I gay? And Esteban turns around, looks at Kara, kind of looks her up and down, and goes, whatever word you want, and keeps going.
I feel like with the vampire slightly supernatural senses, I hear that and I go, yes, and it's okay. And I go back to drinking.
Yeah.
I also think that because Esty was being so loud.
Oh no! Right in the middle, like that last part was absolutely at like the top of his lungs.
Like Hara, and Cattell like heard what Hara said.
Yeah.
And I think she like slinks up to Kara and she's like, "Oh, honey, we all are."
And then there's like a piercing whistle of like, it's not like a dog whistle, but it's like one of those like really close approximations, and suddenly like just appears next to Esteban as they go blitzing off towards the back.
Who is it? Sydney or is it
Celine?
Celine? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, Celine just they're like, okay, what's up? What's going on?
Well, apparently someone is dying.
What?
And don't ask me. Someone just came up and said, I think someone's dying back there. And I went, okay. So now we have a problem. And you're like the most physically capable of all of us, so I figured I'd call you over.
All right, so y'all running back. Does Mona or Cattell realize the urgency in Esteban's voice and or body language?
Oh yeah, like it's not that I didn't take Kara seriously, but it seems like Kara really does love burying the lead. So when Esteban kind of is like alert and dashing off, I'm like, oh, maybe I remember Kara saying something about someone dying, and that wasn't a euphemism for loud sounds. I should probably go check that out.
Yeah, and I think
this wasn't a little death; it was like a big death.
It wasn't the good kind of. Yeah.
And I follow after.
Yep, and Cattell sees all of that, and she trails Mona out. Also.
Okay. So, and Kara, are you just still standing there as everybody else runs? Or are you going to eventually join them, or?
Yeah. She's probably like going after, but she's just like muttering to herself, like she like the whole like someone died part. Like she had the trauma, and then she's like, okay, that happened. Full denial mode for everything else after this point. So she's like walking like. She's walking in that direction, but she's just like kind of tuned out from everything, and she's just going forward.
Yeah.
Like,
so you're just going at a leisurely pace. You don't have a pep in your step or an urgent.
No, she's genuinely just like she's consistently muttering the am I gay thing under her breath. Like it's just like if people have like anxiety mantras, she has one of those, but it's just am I gay?
Like different intonations every time.
Exactly. Am I gay?
Am I gay? Am I gay? It's a question we all have every once in a while.
Every day.
All right. So y'all make your way into the back stage area, and there's tons of rooms. So she didn't say which room it was in. Are y'all just going to start opening up doors, or like what's going on?
Nobody asked.
So
I turn around after I see people are kind of starting to get a little flounder. And I was like, Kara, we need to know where, if there's any chance of saving the person.
Steven has, like, while this is happening, like...
We can call him Steven.
Well, Esteban has a bunch of different nicknames, and I've been using all the different ones the entire game. Just, like, the entire time. So, like, yeah, it just happened. So TB, like, starts kicking doors. Like, starts opening doors. But, like, clearly there's nothing in there. And about, at, like, 4 doors in is like, well, this isn't working. Celine! And Celine just starts kicking doors, like mechanically kicking doors in down the line.
Yeah.
There are people, like, in storage closets who are very much alarmed by this.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
So is this dead person just like on the ground? Or are they
So
like
so
making any noises?
they're in another room. So as you start opening doors, you see various people dressed in various acts happening.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, nope, not it. Nope,
Like,
not it.
not it. Keep going. Not it.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm just sort of giving the nice, sort of a look as I and a couple I'm just like, I'll join you later and you later. And yeah, as I'm going through.
Yeah, as this is happening, like Mona's like, I'll join you later, and over his shoulder, as it's just like, ask first, and then just like keeps going.
I think Kara like eventually tells Mona what they're like she stops for a second to wait up for like Cattell and Mona, and then like she says the actual room that like she saw the body in, but
It's
she's like, I think
yeah.
I think at this point she's like half drifting, like I imagine like if it's just like a hallway with like multiple doors that are getting opened, like after they've been opened, she's just like going through all the doorways, floating through them, and occasionally stopping and like asking someone in there, "Am I gay?" like she's still floating. She's not hiding the ghost thing. At this point, she's just so like confused by this, and she's just like,
just through all the open doors, you're just sort of like because you're so, not only do you have your anxiety, you're also traumatized, so you don't even know what's happening really.
No, this is like
Esteban is like in the school newspaper tomorrow is going to have to publish a thing about like very, very bad juice. Like, sorry, everybody, won't happen again. Everyone was clearly on something. Yeah.
All right, and eventually, Kara mentions it's the VIP room, which is the next room that Celine gets to, and Celine kicks down the door. It was locked. It's a key term, as it like breaks off the lock. And all of a sudden there's and this door shatters, and you see it's actually really dark, and there's candles in a circle with white chalk on the ground, and these 4 figures kneeling beside it with hoods on, robes, and they were chanting until the door got kicked in, and finally, and they all just sort of turn and look, and the hoods are pretty shadowed in right now, so you can't see who's who or anything like that. And then the smell of blood hits you as you open the door, as the irony tinge sort of reaches your nostrils.
Very hungry.
Yeah, and they're like, and you hear a deeper voice like, "Do you mind? We're busy." And you hear one finally go like and say one more last thing, and before anything can happen, you hear one final Latin phrase as they turn like the dagger that they have in their own hand that's still dripping with blood, and then you see it flickering from the light, the candles itself in there, and he turns it and holds it to his own thing and just slices it open, and you see that body slump. And
is the person who is also dead, or no, is the blood from like a dead person, or is it
there's
from
a
like
body on the ground? They're not sure exactly who it is, though. It's the lighting.
Okay.
Doesn't give away.
I step back and I'm literally clutching on to, like, you can start to see wood splintering because I don't know what to do because there's blood in front of me. And to someone who doesn't know I'm a vampire, it looks like I'm scared of blood, but it's really the opposite. I'm like, I
really want blood right now.
I really want to go in and make a messy mess.
Yeah.
Drinking it all.
It's already a messy mess, as you can tell when looking at it. There's blood.
I would be like all over. I would be licking all of that off. So I'm just like,
must restrain myself. And then, everybody, roll me. What is it? Keep your cool. Is that the roll?
Oh boy, yeah.
Give me.
Okay.
Give me a keep your cool roll, everybody.
So that's
Keep
a
your
cold
roll with cold.
Is that cold? Right?
Yeah, with cold.
Okay.
Nope.
Right.
Okay.
That is a fail on my end.
Yeah.
Oh, that is definitely a fail for me.
Yep, Mona is freaking out. Oh, okay, Esteban's doing good.
Cool.
We got one more.
Sure. Hold on one second.
Okay. I'll read that one. Okay. All right, cool.
We're on a roll tonight.
Let me read.
Yeah, you're on fire.
Crazy. Oh, yep.
All right. So, did anybody actually see it? Yeah. So Esteban see it. So you're able to like hold your situation and do that.
Mhm.
Who are my partials? Just Cattell. Cattell is partial.
Mhm.
What do you do in that leaves you vulnerable?
I think. So one of the things that like sort of didn't really come out is that one of the reasons why Cattell always wears these gloves is that she has like scars on her arms. And I think like seeing this person like, you know, with the knife across his throat and everything, that actually really shook her a lot, because this is something that she did in the past and she doesn't do anymore, and she really tries not to self-harm anymore.
Yeah. All right. So that really left her vulnerable and like had that opening for her that she wasn't expecting. And then Mona's freaking out. Kara is still traumatized, I believe. So just seeing, I guess, someone off themselves like that would be something that's also sort of thing. And yeah, as that body hits the ground, the symbols on the ground start glowing. And actually, as it's starting to glow, you're able to see the faces, and it's Ruben and the rest of the chess club, as they are the ones in the robes. In the body, Esteban, it's Camellia, and she's bled out on the ground. And the symbols start glowing, and all of a sudden there's this bright, weird green light that sort of like shines and blinds y'all and blinds the camera screen. And that's Monsterhearts 2. And that's where we're going to end for tonight.
Wow.
Jesus.
Are you gonna do this again?
Go, Esty.
Oh God.
Real quick, I want to check in. How are you feeling?
Doing good. That's very good.
That was it.
Ooh.
Wow.
Yes, doing like character angry, doing all right.
Okay.
Yeah,
I just want to check
I-
with you because I picked on one of your on the character's sister. So yeah.
Yeah. Can I add a narrative bit at the end? Though?
I kind of want to leave it sort of like just cliffhangy, just so.
Oh no! Can I leave it's a cliffhangy bit, but I want to change the final shot.
Okay. Right before it goes to glowing.
Right before it goes to like the green sort of flashes out, and you sort of see the expanse of it, and when I don't know, whatever the green light starts to fade, you just see like Esteban, like a shot of Esteban, like in focus, everything out of focus, and his eyes are cold. Like this is the first time anyone's seen him like angry, and it is ice.
Those ice blue eyes just really shining.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
All right.
I was not expecting that.
Wow.
And we just had someone just join the party. Thank you, Ningwabble. I'm sorry, I'm not going to be able to pronounce that at all. But thank you for joining us. Thank you for all the good stuff. Real quick, apparently people want, so that's Monsterhearts 2 by Avery Alder. I'll say who I am last. So let's go around and say our goodbyes. Tell people where they can find you and all that good stuff. John, you want to go first since we hit you the hardest?
Sure. Hi, I'm John. I played Esteban, TB, Steven, Andrada. He's got a whole bunch of nicknames. And I was the queen in this particular run of Monsterhearts 2. And I just want to say a couple things. One, always give your GM a family if you expect them to screw with them. That's the best way to do it. Like for all of you watching at home, I'm fine. Like I knew this could happen. On the other hand, if we don't get a sequel so I can kick Ruben's ass, I'm going to be very disappointed.
maybe in October when it's spooky Halloween
Yeah,
time.
spooky Halloween one shot. I am so about that. But
yeah.
yes. Do we want to do like plugs or anything else, or how do we want to?
Yeah, go ahead and tell people where to find you, and then and all that good stuff.
Sounds good. So you can find me on Twitter at Ryomasa, RY0MASA. Somebody has my name. But what I am a drama therapy student. I'm currently in a master's program in my university, and what I'm looking into is therapeutic applications of LARP and tabletop gaming in terms of using it as a tool for therapy or normalizing therapy through being able to play with like a game where you're in therapy, quote unquote, or like a support group or something. So that's something I've done before as well. So most of my Twitter feed is nerd things, me talking about shows I'm in, as well as screaming about having to write papers. So if you'd like that, also I'm on a game called Gore of Ravnica, which is on a stream called Giro for Us All with the GM Giro, and that is a Ravnica-based game where I play a very different character from Esteban. Like I am a sad emo boy in that game, and it is a very different experience. So that's me.
Excellent.
Oh, that's every other Saturday, 5:00 p.m. EST. We didn't have a game this week, so I've already forgotten the time.
Oh no. All right. Yeah. Thank you so much. Next traumatized person. Let's go with Phoenix. Let's go in order.
Hi, everybody. It's your resident, very sad, not gay, not trans girl. In any capacity of any of these things, not super, like, dealing with a lot, not in denial. No denial whatsoever on this end. So, yeah. That was a character I was a little anxious about playing, but it got into more hilarious ends of that character, balanced with nice moments of seeing at least John go. So I think that was worth it in terms of what I was shooting for with this character. You can find me, in a lot of places. Adventures in Agni, which is a campaign for an all-PoC crew I DM on Saturday nights. You can find me as one half of Queerly Yours, a podcast I run with my partner. We are a queer, trans, polyamorous couple that talk about relationship things. Most of the time it ends up with some kind of rant about capitalism or other things because, oddly enough, that affects relationships. And I have a Patreon, Philosopheme, that I write poetry, and hopefully soon we'll be doing songs for campaigns. So if anyone is looking for like custom-made songs for their campaign and to pay me for it because I want money, yeah, that'll be a thing. But yeah, I think that's good for now. Thank you so much to Morgan for this. This was amazing.
Oh, thanks for playing. Monsterhearts is one of my favorite games, so be able to share that and my love and passion for it, because it can be dark and serious, but at the same time it can be completely goofy and teenage.
Are you sure? Really? Dark and serious?
Yes, girl. Let's finish up.
All right, let's finish this. Yeah, Lily, let's go ahead and sign off for us, please.
Sure. Hi, I'm Lily. I am Elise on Life on Twitter, and I'm the scribe on the Discord for Welcome Party and also here on Twitch. I, too, am part of the Adventures in Agni campaign that is at 11:30 p.m. Eastern on Saturday evenings. And I am often on 3V on Sunday nights. I also play Mean Zot in a Star Wars actual play called Misfits of Space, which is a podcast. And I guess that is it.
Awesome. Thank you. Sorry, I got something in my eyeball. Miriam, please.
So you can find me on Twitter at media_junkie. I am also part of Agni, where I play a lore wizard named Didi. I am here as well quite frequently, and I will be there in half an hour for Emissaries of Avitna with our producer Leona. And I am also the GM and creator for the Musafirs podcast, which is Decolonized podcast on Mondays. And all those details can be found in my Twitter.
All right. And what's your Twitter again? Did you say Twitter?
Yes, at media_junkie.
Thank you. And I'm Morgan. I was your master ceremonies for tonight for this wonderful game of Monsterhearts. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Serena Bezos. I'm here. I'm actually going to be on a game next 3V that Miriam's running because we're doing a part 2. And I think John and Phoenix are also on it. Lily, are you on that one?
No.
No,
Oh.
it's not on it.
Oh,
Which
dang.
game?
Which one is that?
It's the part 2 for the 3
Oh, the
the
Sarsamine one. Yes!
one.
I don't think I'm on
it's
that
not
one.
on
Oh, you're not on that? I thought you were playing who's playing the jerky smart guy?
It's DM Steve.
Oh, DM
Oh,
Steve.
Deep Steve's
Sorry.
playing that one. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
You're thinking of our swole boy.
Oh, or Swole Boy. Sorry. Oh, my bad. So many handsome people. I get them all confused. Anywho, I'm on that next week. I'm also on Roll to Play Podcast Network. I basically play some one-shots there. I'm on the Red Death D&D 5e game for that, which is on Mask of the Red Death. So it's like 1890s Boston, sort of spooky times. It's always good. I'm also on Victory Condition Gaming, where I'm on a Forbidden Lands campaign, as well as various one-shots as well. And I'm here. So, yeah, we are good to go. I think that's it. I think there's going to be a game here in a bit. Let me just...
Emissaries of Avithna at
Emissaries of
midnight.
At yes.
Midnight ET.
Midnight ET. Thank you. All right, so I don't know if I need to do anything else.
Just sign
wait.
off.
Oh, just sign off? Okay. All right. Well, thank you for guys for joining us. Hope you had a good show. I love y'all. Be safe. Bye.
Bye.
Take care.